All right, starting on time today. Yes, sir. Yeah. Wait, are we live? All right, YouTube likes me now. I bet we're live. All right, so first of all, what's happening, y'all? That was a fun game. The chat was really fun too. Y'all already know, man. I'm just glad to see Haskins take progress forward. I'm glad to see him take steps forward. And again, I can't even give him too much credit because, like I've been saying, it was kind of expected. Just the laws of physics is just he had such a bad game against the Browns. There was no choice but to bounce back. But he actually bounced back in a pretty decent way. I wouldn't say he had a great game. I give him like a B- today maybe. But it was definitely a good bounce back. And again, another reason it's easily expected for him not to look as bad as he did against the Browns. Because again, like I've been saying thousands of times for y'all, that Browns game was the first game that he's been allowed to be a gunslinger, allowed to make his own reads and decisions on throws. Everybody's been doing that since the jump. Baker Mayfield's been doing that from the jump. Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. All of those guys have been allowed to just slang the ball around since day one. They made their mistakes early and got better. Haskins, even though this is his 11th start, it's only been 2 games he's been allowed to actually run an offense and make his own real decisions. So, of course, today it looked like it was his second game ever because technically it was by actual mentality and like responsibility wise. He's been a game manager literally up until the Browns game. The Browns game, they finally took the training wheels off. He failed the test. And, of course, he looked at the film, worked on what he did poorly, and bounced back. He wasn't great today, but he definitely wasn't as bad. So I definitely wanted to just start with that, where I'm not going to be on here talking about Dwayne Haskins had this great day. Other than, Lamar Jackson running all through our defense, he had a better day than Lamar Jackson. He definitely had a way better passing day. He went 32 for 45 for 314 yards, where Lamar Jackson only had to throw 14 to 21 for 193 yards and still get a win without Dwayne Haskins turning the ball over. That's just how much better the Ravens are team-wise around us. Lamar Jackson only had to have 14 completions for 193 yards, and his team still beat the guy that had 32 completions for 314 yards. That's just how it goes when the other team is better. That's just how it is. And Lamar Jackson is just a freak athlete, so he was able to just run the ball on us when he felt like it. He went for a career yard touchdown run today. It was his longest of his NFL career. He did that against us, where he ran right up the middle. It was a nice play call too, nice read option. All the linebackers went to the running back. I don't know if it was Mark Ingram or J.K. Dobbins, but it was somebody. Everybody bit on the running back. Lamar Jackson just walked right by him, and all he had to use was his elite speed, and I think he pretty much went untouched for that touchdown. Let me see what's good. What's happening in chat? What's good happening in chat? I'm gonna bring the callers on. I think like 5:10 is a good time. I'm gonna start bringing the callers on so they can talk what they need to talk about, whether they need to defend Haskins or hate on him. Again, I just want everybody to bring facts. I don't care what side you're on. Even if you're like me, where you're like, give Haskins time, where you're in the middle, because I'm in the middle. I'm not Haskins going to be the greatest quarterback ever. I'm not even guaranteeing he's going to be our quarterback going into 21. I'm just saying give him more time. So with that, no matter what side you're on, if you hate Haskins, if you love him, or if you're like me, where it's just like, I got to see, then make sure y'all bring y'all facts, you know what I'm saying? Because I got my facts ready. I made sure in them last 40 minutes, I went to all of my little comment sections where I already gave people facts, put them together, compiled them, and I'm ready for y'all. Y'all better come with y'all facts. I have comparisons, I have stats. I already have my film in my head, you know what I'm saying? So we can definitely work on it. Gibson is a dog. Haskins made a lot of mistakes today. He made some mistakes, but it wasn't a lot, you know what I'm saying? When your QB isn't your best player, there's a problem. When your QB isn't your best player. Nah, we got too many problems for that to even matter. But I mean, that's cool. That sounds good. That's a nice headline, but that's not like a real fact or like a, you know what I'm saying, like a real stat that you brought or a real good point. Gibson is a dog. Yes, sir. Let him develop. We weren't going to the Super Bowl. Exactly. I don't know why people keep thinking that we were just about to go undefeated this year. Haskins was just going to ball out, and it was going to be as if like we just had the whole preseason. We had OTAs. We had all of that to prepare, and people just acting like we was just about to come in and take over the whole league. Let him develop. I mean, this still isn't a great, again, this isn't a great roster. Haskins had 32 completions for 314 yards, no interceptions. between the two Ravens quarterbacks, they had 2 interceptions total, and Lamar Jackson only had 14 completions for 193 yards, and his team won by 2 touchdowns. That just lets you know how much better other teams are than us, than just period. Like, out just excluding quarterback play, because technically Dwayne Haskins outplayed Lamar Jackson besides Lamar Jackson using his legs. But then again, those were great calls by the offensive coordinator to get Lamar Jackson in situation to use his legs, because I don't even remember a play that game where Lamar Jackson was just in the pocket, escaped, and made a big play on his own. All his big runs were designed runs, so give his athleticism and the offensive coordinator credit for that. It wasn't like Lamar Jackson just outplayed Dwayne Haskins. So if you take out both of the quarterbacks, just completely delete them, even though Dwayne Haskins had a slightly better day arm-wise, throwing-wise, the Ravens team is just way better than this Washington football team, and y'all got to learn to accept that. Y'all have to learn to accept that. Was Flacco the Ravens' best player when they won the Super Bowl? Oh, definitely not. Rex Grossman was nowhere near. If anything, he was holding the Bears back when the Bears carried him all the way to the Super Bowl against the Colts, and then they got exposed because they went against Peyton Manning. Scott Turner is a problem too. We need to air the ball more. See, again, I agree. And Scott Turner hasn't been perfect. He hasn't even been great, really, but I have liked a lot of things I've seen from him overall. Like, he's had moments where he's called good plays, and I'm like, yes, that's a good one. Then there's also questionable plays. But at the same time, we can't throw the ball deep because our offensive line is 30th in pass protection, according to advanced stats and everything, walking into this game. I don't know what they are after this game because it just happened, but walking into this game with 30th in pass protection and 28th in run blocking. So it's not even like our offensive line at least makes room for the running backs so the running backs can be a threat, which opens up the field for Haskins, brings the linebackers forward. Our offensive line is just bad, period. They can't run block, they can't pass block, so there's no threat of the running game to help Dwayne Haskins, which is why the game manager thing wasn't working, because up until the Browns game, they've been using him as a game manager all his career so far. Until the Browns game was the first time he was a gunslinger, and until then, we've been basically running the ball and win with running the ball, try to get some throws off play action, and hope our defense can, seal the win for us. But against the Browns was the first game we were like, all right, Dwayne Haskins, win this game for us. I mean, off this first snap, not even when we were behind, just first snap, go win this game for us with your arm. That's the first time he's been allowed to make his own reads, his own decisions, all of that. So, you know what I'm saying? Of course he had a terrible game. And then today, of course, his game wasn't as bad. Again, it wasn't great. But just naturally, with it being his second game of his NFL career ever, actually being a real NFL quarterback, really making his own reads, scanning the field, making his own throws, his own decisions, and actually like trying to move around in the pocket because every play isn't scripted. He had a better game. It's just, that's just the natural law of things. Of course, he had to bounce back because the last game was so bad because it was his first time trying that. What if we had the league as messed up as Haskins? What if we had the league has messed up Haskins? Technically, the league has messed up Haskins. Those first 7 starts don't even... If anything, that set him back. Like I've been saying, I prefer if we drafted Dwayne Haskins to our team this year. I feel like he would be better than going through what he went through last season, where if anything, it set him back. It made his mechanics worse because the offensive line was terrible. You know what I'm saying? If anything, those first few starts, if anything, set him back more. I mean, bad offensive line. He already had bad mechanics coming out of college, but you build even worse habits when your offensive line is terrible. That's why he's so giddy in the pocket. He's running even when there's not pressure because he's just getting used to the fact that there is pressure and just assumes there is even when there isn't. Now, I'm not going to blame the offensive line like that. You need to go ahead and be an NFL quarterback. It doesn't matter what the offensive line has done. They can allow 2 sacks in a row, first and second down. Third down, you better sit in that pocket and take whatever hit has coming for you and deliver the ball. But still, that's where a lot of his bad mechanics are coming from. That's why they're not improving. And if anything, they've gotten worse because the offensive line was so bad, he built bad habits last season. So again, I would have preferred if we just drafted him from Ohio State this year because he would probably be more ahead of schedule than he was last year, especially with 3 different offensive coordinators and play callers all last year, 3 completely different styles of the West Coast offense. And then this year, he just starts the Air Coyle offense with a rookie offensive coordinator. So this is his 4th offensive coordinator / play caller, play designer, game designer, scheme, all of that type of stuff in 11 start. Well, 10 really within 8 starts, but this was his 11th start today. Let's see. I get sleepy when we lose. I kind of do too. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little like, dang, man, that sucks. Crazy thing, like you said, 8-8 could win the division. We might be able to win the division with 7-9. Facts are our coach put him on blast. The guy who watches film live every day, not only on film. Are you, Rico, more knowledgeable than head coach? I'm not hating on Haskins. I mean, again, that wasn't Ron Rivera putting them on blast, like watching film like you're terrible. First of all, he never said Haskins won't work out. Your point, and a lot of y'all are saying that Haskins is not it, he's trash. Ron Rivera never said Haskins was trash. He just said, looking at the film, he has to play better. And again, I think that was leaked on purpose. I think they feel like that was like they wanted to get a fire under Dwayne Haskins. They wanted the media talking about him and stuff like that. I don't think Ron Rivera is honestly going to bench Haskins, because what do we gain from benching Haskins? Honestly, what do we gain from benching Haskins? Like, let me know what's the best case scenario. Because I hope y'all don't think Kyle Allen's any good, any better. Actually, go Giants Super Bowls over the Patriots. Eli Manning wasn't the best players on that. Yep, Eli Manning wasn't the best player on that team at all. We can go endlessly on that. Thank you, Rodney, for handling that question. Haskins needs to move out the pocket more. He needs to throw down the field with accuracy. I never saw from him. I think they should start Kyle. I disagree. Kyle Allen's even worse. If you think Haskins is frustrating, then you be really frustrated with Kyle Allen. I'm letting you know that now. You don't want that. I'm trying to save you from you. In 2019, just 2019, do you think Dwayne Haskins did a good job? He did a great job for what situation he had around him, especially that Giants and Eagles game once Kevin O'Connell finally took over. When Kevin O'Connell took over, that was his best offensive coordinator for him. He literally ran plays that he ran at Ohio State, and you saw what Dwayne Haskins did. I mean, what was it, between the Eagles and the Giants game when Kevin O'Connell finally became the play caller, Haskins had 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And he was hurt by almost a little bit after halftime in the Giants game. That just lets you know how much an offensive coordinator matters. And that same team had a bad offensive line, didn't have dependable receivers. Terry McLaurin was hurt, and he still found a way to get 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Rico, who you think better, DK or Terry? I think Terry. Terry's more versatile. DK's great, though. I love DK. I wanted him in my mock draft before we got Terry, but I just think Terry surprised me. I didn't expect Terry to be that great. I just surprised Haskins got 300 yards on Baltimore's defense. That's another good point. And we ran the ball a lot. It's not even like Haskins was out there just throwing all game. We ran the ball quite a bit. I mean, some of it was screens also. That counts as passing yards too. But still, he ran for 300 yards. I mean, he still threw for 200 yards. Yo, if we bench Haskins, then we would be way worse than what we are now. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm telling y'all. Kyle Allen wouldn't have thrown 4 picks. All right, so you say that. First of all, Haskins threw, 3 interceptions last week. I'm telling y'all, Kyle Allen is worse. And not even just looking at stats, Kyle Allen is worse. It's not even like, y'all, please. I actually want us to start Kyle Allen so y'all can see and y'all can stop saying that ignorance. Because I'm telling you, bro, Kyle Allen is terrible, bro. I was kind of sad we picked him up. I'm kind of sad. All right, so Kyle Allen last year, with one offensive coordinator the whole time, a better O-line, a better receiving situation, like receivers overall. He had 3 to throw to. Haskins literally only has 1. Isaiah Wright's emerging, but really he only has 1. He had Greg Olsen, who's a way better tight end than Logan Thomas, Marcus Ball, anybody else we have combined, and that's a quarterback's best friend. So you have Kyle Allen, where he has 1 game with 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He has another game with 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And then to end the season, he had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 0 touchdown, 1 interceptions. Haskins has never been that bad. Y'all not going to sit here and disrespect. Again, I need stats. If you're going to bring up Kyle Allen, I need stats. Kyle Allen is definitely worse than Dwayne Haskins. If you don't see it, honestly don't know what to tell you. Because Haskins' worst game is what that was last week against the Browns, right? And he had 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's his worst game in his career, period. Starting, at least. As a starter. Kyle Allen, as a starter, has a game with 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and then he finished the year. Over the last 3 games, he had 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's with the same offensive coordinator, better offensive line, better receiving core, better running back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm just trying to see where the Kyle Allen is coming from. No, I'm saying Kyle Allen would have thrown 4 picks today and stuff. Oh, okay, my fault. Okay, bad. I just gotta make sure there's some Kyle Allen people out there that really think Kyle Allen is better. He said Kyle Allen would have had 3 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. That is a lie, boy. That is a lie. That is not a fact. I just brought you facts. I'm gonna need you to come back with facts. Rico, if Haskins played for the Raiders and he played the exact same as he played here, and you watch the film, you'd be saying we need to go get Haskins. That boy gonna be a star. First of all, that's not a fact. Again, I've been asking y'all for facts, not comedy. And second of all, no, I wouldn't. First of all, I don't even watch Raiders games. I don't even know what's going on with Derek Carr. I remember he had that almost MVP season, then he got hurt. And since then, I've heard he's bad, but I don't know. But yeah, again, I'm gonna need you to come back with facts, sir. I'm gonna need no more comedy. We need facts. This show is for facts. We need y'all to prove points, and nobody's proved a point yet. Kyle Allen went 5-12 in first 7 games, lost the rest of the games last year, so Kyle Allen is way worse. He started off well because they didn't have film for him. They didn't know what to expect. They prepared for Cam Newton. Then here comes Kyle Allen. He started, and just like Gardner Minshew, they started off hot. Once defenses actually game plan for him, terrible. Kyle Allen would have had 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I think that's actually pretty accurate. I think Allen would throw 1 touchdown, 2+ interceptions. I agree. Somewhere around there. He definitely would have thrown interceptions today. Kyle Allen is terrible, bro. I don't know. Hey, Kyle Allen, but Dwayne is not the answer. All right, so I need the analytics. Say that Haskins is the guy. Look at the Chargers. Worst offensive line than Washington, but Herbert. Actually, I don't think the Chargers have a worse offensive line. Let me go check. I don't think they do. No, that's not comedy. If you play somewhere else, would you be backing them like you are? I'm not, again, when have I ever backed Haskins? When have I ever said Haskins is going to be great? Ever. When have I ever said Haskins is guaranteed to be great? I'm just saying y'all need to actually bring up facts when y'all are arguing. And y'all need to, and I'm just saying give him a chance. I never said Haskins is going to be great. I'm one of the main people that loves Trevor Lawrence. I'm one of the main people that's like, hey man, if Haskins don't work out, Trevor Lawrence is there. When did I ever say Haskins was gonna be great? Oh yeah, the Chargers do not have a worse offensive line, just to let y'all know. The only people that have worse offensive lines than us are Houston, Cincinnati, San Francisco, and the Giants. That's it. That's literally it. So that Chargers offensive line is worse, is done. The Chargers receiving core is better. Let's start there. Okay, we got smoked. So I'm gonna get out the chat and start answering some calls. We might as well start Haskins all 16 games. Exactly. Go down with the ship. If Haskins doesn't work out, draft a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We need Rodney about now. Oh, I got my stats. Again, nobody's brought up enough stats for me to come back with stats. I got my stats ready. I'm Rodney Jr. over here. Chargers have a better offense than us. Period. Point blank. Tight ends, wide receiver overall, offensive line, all better. All better. All of it. Burrow is better. Watson is better. Well, first of all, Watson's having a bad year so far. Burrow only kind of looks better, and he may be better. I'm not saying Dwayne Haskins is better than Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow, first of all, has been given the keys from jump. He has a way better receiving core. You're not about to sit here and act like their receiving core is crazy. Tyler Boyd is one of the most underrated receivers in the league, period. Their offensive line is worse. But he has a way better receiving core. He has a better tight end situation. We probably have the worst tight end situation in the league, period. So yeah, and then also again, Burrow has been given the keys since jump. Haskins was only given the keys these last 2 games, to where he's allowed to make his own reads, his own throws, make his own decisions, and throw it, and be a gunslinger. Joe Burrow has been a gunslinger off rip. Matter of fact, Haskins, where was it at? I gotta go look. And I'm gonna get the smokes, and then Timothy, you're up next. Hold on, let me bring up this stat, because just to let y'all know how much they haven't believed in Haskins and actually let him be a real quarterback until these last 2 games. Let me see. Joe Burrow, hold on, because I had it too. I just didn't. If I started streaming at 5:30, I would have all the stats for y'all. But I was only able to get most of them because I compiled most of my stats because I was hitting everybody with in the comment section of the Dwayne Haskins video I did. I was hitting them all with stats, so I had those stats ready. I'm just trying to compile them. Joe Burrow, he had 36 attempts, 61, 44, 36. So they just been letting him gunsling. He made his mistakes, and now he's been getting better because he's allowed to work it out. He's been throwing the ball a lot, whereas Haskins has been a game manager on purpose by the offensive coordinators he's been under, and what's it called? And so the Browns game was the first time they allowed him to be a true NFL quarterback, and he was terrible. Flat out, he was terrible. But now his second game ever of actually being an NFL quarterback, of being allowed to make his own reads, is and he had a bounce back game. It wasn't great. Again, I'm not saying Dwayne Haskins has ever been great. The only time I think Dwayne Haskins has ever been great was that one half against the Giants. Other than that, he's either been decent, fairly good, like today, or just terrible. You know, so I'm not defending Haskins. I'm just giving y'all facts. But Joe Burrow, 36 attempts, 61, 44, 36. Whereas Haskins, to start off his career, he had, let me see, 22, 35, 29, 25, 27, 28, 15 when he got hurt. And then this year, until the Browns game, 31, 33. So until the Browns game, Joe Burrow's least attempts in the game was more than Haskins' most. So that just lets you know, like, I'm just giving y'all facts that, you know, Joe Burrow had the keys to the offense. All of these guys had the keys to the offense since the beginning, but for some reason they chose a baby Dwayne. I'm guessing because he didn't have much college experience, because today was his 26th start in his his career since high school. That's including college, NFL, and most quarterbacks come out with that many games under their belt just out of college. Rico, I'm so bad. Ali Cox. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and get to the callers. I'm sorry I'm missing some comments, but again, I haven't seen a good, argument yet, so we go ahead and get to the callers. Let me bring my boy Smokes on first. What's good, Smokes?
What's up with you, bro?
What's good? I keep forgetting your voice is that deep. What's happening, though?
I'm gonna try to put this in words as best as I can, right? So, I think we all expected for the team to kind of be garbage this year. We didn't really expect too much out of the team, but Coach Ron made this point. We surprisingly competitive this year, you feel me? And with that being said, Coach Ron made the point we don't have these kind of opportunities, and we're not that good where we can continuously shoot ourselves in the foot and make bad plays over and over again. And I think the Haskins criticism is because he's the quarterback, he has the ball the most, and he's clearly making the most mistakes out there. So I don't think it's really like people want to see Kyle Allen or people want to see Haskins fail or anything like that. It's just all the most he's making the most mistakes, and like Coach Ron said, we ain't really in the position where we can deal with that or overcome that. So being competitive as we are right now, we putting ourselves in a good spot, and we taking a lot of chances, but at the same time, man, my man is out here making some mistakes and they're glaring. That's the only thing.
Mm-hmm. And it does suck that this is like, Haskins still developing, because again, this is only his second game where they actually took the handcuffs off of him and let him work as a real NFL quarterback. So, and then it's like you said, we actually look pretty good in these games, even in the losses. So it looks like we have a good chance to win the division, and Ron Rivera can see that. And so he's definitely going to expect more out of Dwayne Haskins sooner than we probably should. But again, he's an NFL quarterback. And I mean, I do expect him to step up. And again, I'm not really defending him. I'm just giving y'all reasons why we need to give him more time and a chance. But at the same time, like you said, our team isn't as bad as a lot of people think it is. We have actually been competitive against 4 pretty good teams, if not really good teams, especially the Cardinals. And what the Browns did to the Cowboys today, put up 49 on them. And then now the Ravens, who are one of the best teams in the league, we've actually looked pretty, not terrible against them. We haven't looked great, but we've looked better than what people expected. And of course, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, we want Dwayne Haskins to be better because this team is a little bit more ahead than what some people thought it would be. So yeah, I do feel that. But at the same time, and I mean, this was technically his second game really having a chance to be a real NFL quarterback. So I just feel like, give him some more time and we'll see. But at the same time, I'm in that middle field where it's like, hey man, Haskins, if you don't play well, especially by the end of the season, I'm ready to move on. I'm not even one of those people that's willing to give him his whole rookie contract. I normally would, but Trevor Lawrence and all of those guys and Justin Fields, Trey Lance are just too talented to just pass on them hoping Dwayne Haskins will work out. So again, I'm not even being a Dwayne Haskins truther. I'm just trying to let everybody know that y'all just need to calm down and give him some time to show that he can do something. You know what I'm saying? He said, you're wasting your breath.
So here's the thing, right? It's not always all about Haskins, right? Haskins he's going to be what he's going to be, but it's about the whole team. So like we all agree, if the team is farther along than we all expected, then and Haskins is going to be, if he's the weakest link, then you got to do something. You can't really just hold the whole team back because of one player.
Yeah, I do feel that. I can't be mad at that.
Yeah. That's all, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling in, Smokes, as always. Appreciate you being there every live stream, all of that. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, Mahomes. You know I got you.
All right, man. Appreciate you keeping it real, too. All right, man. I'll catch you next week.
Already.
All right, hold on. All right, Timothy, you're up next. I'm about to bring you on soon. Let me answer. He said, Rico. Oh, Daniel, I'll join you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got to talk Dwayne Haskins. I can just talk about you. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing to it. And again, can you please use facts or bring up examples of how I'm backing Haskins too much? If you can just let me know. But then again, y'all are emotional, so I can't really stoop to y'all level. Argument: Rico 4th and goal. Zach Short, line, any smart QB. No, but those are mistakes everybody's made. Those are mistakes. Russell Wilson, that touchdown to that was Pete Carroll. He shouldn't have. He should have called a running play with Marshawn Lynch. But that Super Bowl against the Patriots, why would Russell Wilson throw that? I saw Daniel Jones make a worse decision than that this year. I forgot what it was. It was like 2nd and goal. He threw an interception, and they were down less than a touchdown. So it was just throw it out of bounds when in doubt. You make it another. You go another play. Josh Allen has made worse mistakes than that, or similar mistakes. Pat Mahomes even made mistakes like that. You acting like nobody else makes these mistakes. It was a really bad mistake, and I called him out for it several times in the stream. So again, I'm gonna need another argument. Because I said that was a terrible play, but overall he had a good game. You know what I'm saying? If my uncle had it, he would be. Wait, what? What is what is going on in this chat? All right, my boy Timothy. Let me go ahead and bring you on, my boy. Oh, I gotta. Okay, there you go. I bet. What's happening, Timothy?
Bro, I called it 4:42, and somehow I got kicked out. I was trying to go first because I don't even know what to say now because first dude really explained what I was trying to say. That's all. I know I get dramatic. That's all I'm really trying to say. The fact that we're playing competitive, the fact that we played of these 4 games, including the Ravens, which I know you're ranting and raving about, but we at point played well enough to beat them. So that's the whole point. So no, I'm not going to give Haskins any breaks, or even our whole team any breaks if we at point played well enough to beat them. I'm not going to get happy about a deep bomb with 2 minutes left in the game for a touchdown to lose by 14 points. I'm not going to get excited. I'm not really going to too much care about development. I'm not going to care about if he was handheld in the first week of the first game of the year. I'm not going to care if this is his first time running the offense. No huddle. Run some plays. I don't care. I don't have any excuses for this guy. And I'm not saying that Haskins sucks, but I'm not giving him any excuses. And I'm going to be honest, Rico. It sounds like you're saying, well, these are reasons. Change synonym. Excuses. That's what it is. You might just use the word excuses.
I'm just giving context as to why he looks so bad. I'm not saying, again, I keep saying that I'm not expecting him to be great. I've never said Haskins is going to be a great quarterback. I hope he can. I'm just saying give him a chance to show that he can or can't is what I'm saying. Well, especially once he has a better situation around him. But at the end of the day, Haskins played terribly against the Browns. Now, there's a reason for it, but he still played terribly at the end of the day. I haven't excused it.
I wish I could be like you, Rico. I wish I could just, in a sense, give up on the team and expect the worst. The worst, and then just be pleasantly surprised when we get a little bit better than the absolute worst. I'm not going to do that.
Well,
I know this man can throw the ball.
Well, I'm not really expecting the worst. Huh?
You go back to the Green Bay game. I know we still had Darius guys. I know we still had Adrian Peterson. But we still had the same trash O-line and a bunch of injuries, and we only lost that game by 5 points.
You said which game?
The Green Bay game last
year. Yeah. Okay.
I'm the type of person, I must already be in parent mode because I probably feel how parents can feel like if your kid, I know you can do better than this and getting bad grades. That's how I feel right now. I know you can do better than this.
Yeah, it don't matter what the excuse is if your friends are distracting you. Or I feel like you basically saying it don't matter if the teacher is bad. It don't matter if your class is distracting. I need you to come back with the grades. Is what you saying?
Part of me would have taken a 48-6 whooping, and I would have just been able to write them off and say, "Oh, this team is just horrible. It's whatever. It was the Ravens." But no, I'm not giving you that. I don't care if it was the Ravens. We were playing against a be honest. Or like the second half of the game. Like that first half of the game, it was, bruh, I can't, bro. Like don't that field goal tick me off.
Yeah, no, again, I'm more mad at Ron Rivera and this defense than Haskins today. Again, Haskins, I'll still say Haskins to me is a B minus. I don't think Haskins was great. It was better, but Haskins wasn't great, and some stuff was his fault. But overall, I'm more upset with with Ron Rivera and the defense.
Sure, like I said, I'm not saying that Haskins is the worst, but I'm just at the place like I'm adopting your philosophy. If we're gonna suck, if we're gonna be 5-16, we're gonna be 16. That's the best we can get. Let's go 3-13. Why not? Let's go hard. If we're gonna be we're not winning the division, throw Kyle Allen there. What's the point? We're suck, right? We're not winning no games, right? Throw Kyle Allen out there. Why not?
I'm not all the way like that because I still would prefer to try to at least win a division because, like, say with Ron Rivera, for example, the year before, when he first got Cam Newton, they started off terribly and they started winning games towards the end of the season. I believe they won a division. I'm not sure, but they won enough games to where I was like, okay, we got something going here. And the next season they went 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl. That's my ideal situation. I'm saying don't give up on Haskins. He might turn out well. And just understand that this beginning part is going to be rocky. But I'm just saying, like, if we can win a division at the end and Haskins looks good, I don't want to win a division and Haskins looks terrible because then now we don't have a good draft pick to replace Haskins. But if my ideal situation is Haskins looks really good, we win the division, and even if we are bad, you know what I'm saying, at least we have something to build off of. And again, Ron Rivera's gone through this has gone through this before with Cam Newton in Carolina. They looked terrible in the beginning, just like we have now, but they were competitive. And then they started winning games towards the end. And even though it was too late, and they couldn't do much with the wins, at least they were like, okay, we look like this. We can do this. We can do that. We'll change these pieces. We'll use our cap space for this. We'll get some free agents. We'll draft these players. And then they went 15-1. So I'm hoping we can do something like that is what I'm saying.
I hear you, bro. But, like, it's too late. It's too late, Rico. You done turned me into a world-class cynic. Throw Kyle Allen in. Bitch, Dwayne Haskins, I'm done. It's not trash. I'm done. It's always it's not going to be 6 games and us having 6. It's not going to be 6 losses and we're going to go on a 10-game winning streak like we did in 2012. That's not going to happen. If we can't win against teams when we're in the game and even pretty good teams, then like, why do I have to think that we're going to play the Eagles again or the Cowboys again? If we lose against the Giants, I might burn my Redskins hat. That might be what it is. I might set that thing on. If we lose to the Giants, I might have to send you a video of me burning my Redskins hat. That might just have to be what it is, bro. Because it's unacceptable.
I think they're one of the worst teams we'll play this year. Huh? You say what?
But like, one thing that made me mad was that, like, we keep on talking about how trash the Cowboys are. And, like, yes, I don't like them because, they're our rivals and whatnot. But, like, they are not that good in their secondary. But, like, at least with, like, you can just look at when they were losing, like, as bad as we were. Like, the Falcons gave that to them. But even still, they played until there was no seconds left on the clock. And then you do, like, this game when they played the Browns today. Like, it was 41-14. I'm like, oh, this is going to get worse and worse. They came within 9. We lost by 14. So I'm not giving that team any excuses.
I mean, yeah, I feel it. But at the end of the day, I think they give Dak Prescott the keys more. First of all, he has a better receiving core, way better O-line. And they just let him throw the ball. Until the Browns game, we didn't just let Dwayne Haskins gunsling. When they're behind with Dak Prescott, they're like, hey man, we're already losing. There's nothing we have to lose. You might as well just go out there and start throwing. And it starts working because defenses are in prevent. You're able to get off these little 7-yard to 15-yard passes easily because the defense is just making sure you don't get touchdowns. Then when they get into the red zone, they actually call a good offense, and then that's how they actually start, putting up points on the board. Whereas us, we're running the ball, we're staying honest, we're staying balanced. And those times where I want Dwayne Haskins to gunsling, which is the 2-minute offenses when we're down by 14, it's 2 minutes left, let's go down the field and make something shake. Ron Rivera's not calling timeouts. He's already given up the game. We should have done that against the Bears and the Cardinals. This game, he didn't do it, but for some reason, we kicked that field goal instead of going for it on fourth down, that one good Dwayne Haskins drive. So it's just like, I don't exactly know what the message is we're trying to go with this offense. Dwayne Haskins works best in the 2-minute offense. Clearly, Dak Prescott does the same thing. The Cowboys, when they get down 30, even if it's in the third quarter, they run their 2-minute offense. We just keep running the ball, trying to stay balanced instead of letting Dwayne Haskins gunsling it. So again, Dwayne Haskins has been given permission to be a true NFL quarterback for only 2 games, but it still isn't to the extent of a Dak Prescott where they just let him go. And he threw that terrible interception to Amari Cooper at the end. So the real Dak Prescott came out, but at least they're just letting him, throw it. And Dwayne Haskins is only going to get better the more he throws. So that's the only way he's going to fix his mechanics. That's the only way he's going to fix his inaccuracy. I hate the fact in these last 2 minutes when Dwayne Haskins will thrive the most, we just start giving up. I hate the fact that Ron Rivera is doing that. But yeah, man, that's all. Oh, I forgot. I accidentally muted the mic.
You can't sit here and tell me we want it. You can't. There's no way you can tell me we want it. You can't say that. You'll be a liar if you say we want it. We don't want it.
Yeah, I don't know what Ron Rivera's doing. He's talking about making sure people are staying healthy and not trying to win, even though we're down 14 with 4 minutes left. I'm more mad at Ron Rivera and this defense more than anything else this last game. He said Rico back to play. Yeah, I'm sorry. I accidentally muted it. I was trying to, again, because the phones are low, so I try to turn it up when the person on the phone is talking, and I hurry up and turn it down when I'm talking, so I accidentally muted it. But yeah, man, appreciate that, Timothy. I definitely see where you're coming from on a lot of things, so I appreciate that. You said what?
What happened in the future, man? But like, bro, if we go 1-15, if we lose, it's one or two possibilities. If we go 1-15. Or, like, even with a better but still sucky record, if one of those losses is the Giants, I'm probably going to set my Redskins hat on fire. That's just what's going to happen.
But, I mean, I don't want to tank. I've been the guy that can excuse a tank because it's like we get rid of the bad coaches. It allowed us to get rid of Bruce Allen. It allows us to get good draft picks so we can get people like Chase Young. But this year, I don't even want to tank. But that's still the one small silver line in the tanking. If Dwayne Haskins is that bad to where we go 1-15, we get Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, or Justin Fields, and those guys. As much as I, try to present to y'all that Dwayne Haskins deserve a chance, at the end of the day, Dwayne Haskins cannot work behind a bad O-line. It's just plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? He's not mobile enough. So if we get one of those 3 guys, even as bad as our offensive line is right now, they'll still be able to do more with it just because they can extend plays and run for first downs, which Dwayne Haskins can't do. So at the very least, the silver lining to going 1-15, we have the first we have first dibs on one of those great quarterbacks that I think all 3 of them will be great. Now it's up to y'all who y'all think will be better than the other. Huh?
This is my last thing. One of these days, in this 16-game season, you're going to realize that I'm right and that Dwayne Haskins with the Redskins is equivalent to Kirk Cousins at his worst with the Redskins. You'll agree with me one of these days. You'll agree.
I mean, again, I've never said that Dwayne Haskins is going to be great. I'm just saying give him a chance to show you that he can be great or terrible. If he's terrible, go get a quarterback. I'm not one of those guys that's like, give Dwayne Haskins to the end of this year, and if he shows a little bit of improvement, keep him, work on it again next year. I'm like, hey, man, if Haskins looks terrible, then don't do it. But nah, Haskins is not going to be Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is limited arm-wise. He's not that great. You got to remember, first of all, before I let you go, Kirk Cousins had Jordan Reed, Pierre Garçon, and Deshaun Jackson for a year, and he still was average to slightly above average. And he had a better offensive line. He had Trent Williams and those guys. Dwayne Haskins has none of that. He has Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson. That is it. He has less continuity offensive line wise. Wide receiver. You say what?
Dwayne probably has more arm strength than Kirk Cousins. That's a fact. But like, look what happened when he left. Kirk Cousins left our trash organization. Like that's like it was years in like with the Vikings. Like they won today, and like he's kind of iffy, but like.
Haskins. I think Haskins today. Honestly, in my opinion, Kirk Cousins is worse than Haskins is today. I would take Haskins over Kirk Cousins. First of all, stats wise, Kirk Cousins has 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions this year. Dwayne Haskins has what does he have? Like I think it's like 10-6 or something, somewhere around there. So he's better that way. And then also, Kirk Cousins has Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, a way better O-line. And literally every game they've lost, Kirk Cousins has at least 1 interception. The one game they won, he didn't throw an interception. So literally, if Kirk Cousins doesn't throw an interception, they win automatically. Dwayne Haskins hasn't thrown an interception but only 1 game this season, and they're 1-3. So it's just Kirk Cousins has a way better team and is still doing less with it. They're 1-3 just like us, and he has a way better situation. Me personally, I take Dwayne Haskins over Kirk Cousins. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next callers because they're waiting. We already have like 3 people behind you, so I appreciate you calling in, Timothy.
All right, bro, appreciate it. I'm gonna try to come with more facts and numbers next time. You know I'm not a numbers guy. It's just it's all from the heart with me, bro. But
I feel it.
You want to see?
I feel it, man. I feel it. I'm not mad at it at all. But man, appreciate you calling in and definitely call in next week. I got you, man.
No problem.
All right. All right, Redskins 007. I'm gonna bring you on next, but I wanted to say he said Haskins sucks, Cousins sucks. Now I don't think it's fair to judge Haskins and say he sucks because he hasn't had enough time to prove he sucks. But if I had to pick between the two, I would take Haskins over Kirk Cousins. But again, I've said it several times. I've never said I'm guaranteeing y'all that Haskins will be great. My whole point is to give him a chance. He has had the worst situation around him, at least top 3 in QB history. If you can find a quarterback that has a worse situation, and we're not just talking offensive line, we're not just talking receivers, we're not just talking about run game, because he has the 30th pass blocking offense right now and the 28th run blocking offense. But I'm talking about situations, period. A head coach that drafted him that didn't want him. And then he had 3 different offensive coordinators / play callers, all within his first 7 starts. And then he gets a rookie offensive coordinator that takes him from 3 different West Coast offenses to a Air Coryell offense. And again, this is a rookie offensive coordinator that's making it up as he goes along also. So if you can find me a quarterback, Jason Campbell was done dirty, but it's not worse than Haskins. And y'all know that. I know it kind of seems like it because our defense is good, but nah, it's not. Only because my brother a Cards fan, they ruined. I know. Yeah, no, Josh Rosen was really bad too. Josh Rosen was really bad, but I feel like they gave up on Josh Rosen. That's why his situation is worse. But if you're talking about offensive line, wide receivers, run game, you talking about offensive coordinators and all of that, Josh Rosen has not had it worse than Haskins. Haskins has had it worse, and that's why I keep saying I prefer Haskins out of Ohio State than him having that last season. If we could have drafted him this year, and this was literally his 4th game in his career, I prefer that because if anything, he went back and his mechanics got worse because his offensive line was so bad. He built up bad habits, throwing off his back foot. That's why he's still doing it now. I'm not excusing it. You still need to fix it. Haskins is still inaccurate, throws off his back foot, bad foot mechanics. But there's context as to why that's happened. Haskins doesn't even pass the eye test. When I look at him, I just don't see our QB of the future. How many in the chat see? Again, I'm going to need more facts than that. I don't know what that means, the it factor. A lot of people thought Josh Allen last year wasn't the it factor. A lot of people, the first year Lamar Jackson was quarterback, thought he couldn't throw the ball. But yeah, man, let me go ahead and bring on my boy Redskins 007. What's good, man? What you got for the show?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
What's good, my dude? What's happening? Hello?
Oh, my bad, guys. I dropped my mic, man.
You good?
Sorry about that. Yeah. So I've been listening to all these other callers and shit, man. I was like, how could they be so fucking off? Like, I watched the same game as you guys watched. Like, what the fuck? Have you not realized that the Baltimore Ravens are Super Bowl contenders? They are Super Bowl contenders, and we just like played them. Okay? Did you really expect us to beat their ass, like fucking demolish them? Think about it. We had a fumble on our own 30-yard line. They had an easy 7 points right there. Then we have a fake punt, which I think that the Redskins defense should have been prepared for that better, for the fake punt, because I think Baltimore has a history of fake punts, right? But at the same time, like, I'm looking at this game and hearing these callers like, where are you guys? We're sitting here as a developing team, a team developing, like someone who's making sure we got the best players on the field, and we're going up against a Super Bowl contender, and you're talking about Haskins like this? Dude, Haskins did not have a bad game. He had an okay game. He could have been played better. But, like, we are literally playing against a top 3 or 5 team in the NFL. Okay? Do not fucking act like we're playing against the Browns. Because I think last week against the Browns, we could have made a couple changes and won that fucking game. But we're not playing against the Browns. And guess what? The Browns whooped the shit out of the Cowboys. So we're looking pretty good. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So our overall analysis, I'm listening to these callers. I've lost a lot of respect for all these other callers because they're not understanding the big concept. They're not understanding that we are a developing team. We're trying to get better. We're trying to find out who's the best player on our team, and we're playing against a top 3 or 5 team in the NFL. Okay, and we competed against them. So, I'm gonna give it back to you, Rico. Like, what do you think? Because like people are talking about us, talking shit about our team. Like, we did not just play a top 3 team in the NFL.
I mean, again, I like to lead off with that context, but I feel like, at the end of the day, you got to play who you play. You should play better. But like I said during the live stream, during the game, we've had a really tough first 4 games. Eagles, if anything, have been our easiest game because they're hurt and Carson Wentz hasn't been that good. But and I feel like we're kind of the reason to that because we hit him so many times, he hasn't been able to bounce back. But I feel like again, like that we do have to look at the fact that the Cardinals may be a Super Bowl contender, the Ravens are a Super Bowl contender, and I'm ignoring whatever points the Cowboys put up on the Browns in garbage time because anybody can do that, especially again like I said earlier, when they're just playing prevent defense, you can throw 15-yarders, 8 to 15-yarders on them all day, they don't care as long as they don't give up the touchdown. That's why the Cowboys were able to march down the field and then they get balanced in the red zone and they were able to take advantage of that. So I don't count those points. They got demolished by the Browns, and we didn't get beat that bad, and we beat ourselves. Haskins threw 3 interceptions. He had that one fumble where Jerron Christian just let Myles Garrett just go right around him and confiscate the ball from him. And we had the Steven Sims fumble that led to 7 direct points. Landon Collins... and then the Cardinals game, we had a lot of mishaps on defense also with Landon Collins leaving D-Hop wide open. It was just a whole bunch of stuff. Our special teams and our defense haven't played as well as we think they should have. And we've still been fairly competitive. And again, it's only been since the Brown games they've allowed Dwayne Haskins to be a true NFL quarterback and throw the ball a lot. So I'm not surprised that he failed that game. But then this game, he learned from that game, bounced back. We'll see what he does next week against the Rams, which I feel like he'll have a better chance against, but we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. Like, my philosophy this year is that we're trying to find the players that we want to keep on this team and the players that we need for next year. That's my philosophy this year. We're not contenders for the Super Bowl, but the fact is that our division sucks so bad that we are fucking contenders. We are contenders for our division, but that's the only reason. It's not anything else. It's our team is not ready, but the division is so bad that everybody it seems like all the callers are pissed off because it's like, damn, they're seeing all these other teams in our division losing, so they're kind of like hoping for us to be great. We're not great yet. Give fucking Ron Rivera a year. Give him 1 fucking year before you start shitting on him, dude. Give him 1 full year. Next year, I don't care. You could shit on Ron Rivera all you want, but do not talk crap about him this year. He's trying to build a team, okay? So we're trying to build a team. Guess what? We might even win the division this year, and make everybody happy. Like, we'll be happy. We'll make the decision. We're just not good enough to beat. We're not good enough to beat the Chiefs and Green Bay Packers when it comes to playoff times. Man, come on. You think we could beat the Seahawks? Like, we might be able to beat them, but it's not likely. I think next year with the development and knowing that we have X amount of players that we're going to keep and then what we need, we might be in the hunt next year for the Super Bowl. We might be. Maybe it'll take 2 years. But this year, we have to keep our minds like, hey, we got to realize that, hey, we're just trying to develop this year. We're trying to get better. And everybody else is talking shit about our team, when reality is, dude, we just played the Baltimore Ravens. They were a contender last year in the Super Bowl. They have a great head coach. They went for it on fourth down. We weren't ready for it. We should have been ready for it, but we weren't. That was the difference in the game. The game would have been so much closer had they not got that fourth down conversion, because we could have got 7 points had they punted the ball to us and we converted and got 7 points. The game would have been totally different, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, it's I don't understand the philosophy of these Redskins fans. Do you not understand? This is a development year. We're trying to get better. We're not gonna be that great because we're trying to build a team. And I just don't understand why people are so caught up in the fact that we're losing to these great teams. I just don't get it, man.
I appreciate. I'm right with you, man. I agree. I didn't even think about the fact that I agree with the other callers with the I mean, it does suck to try to develop a quarterback when it looks like our team can win a division, but that is a really good point that the only reason it looks like we can win a division is because the division is so trash. If we were in the AFC North, even if we were the NFC South, definitely if we were in the AFC South, the AFC West, the NFC West, we would be dead last in the division right now, point blank period. There would be no hopes of trying to win the division. So yeah, I definitely feel that point. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, man, appreciate you, Redskins007, my boy, always helping the stream. You've always been in the background. You just started calling in recently, but you've always been supporting the stream, donating and everything. So appreciate you and everything. I definitely make sure you call back next week for me, man.
Hell yeah, man. Y'all keep supporting, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
I appreciate it. England, my boy Argo, and also before I bring in Argo, I saw somebody say that Haskins hasn't had 300 back-to-back games or whatever. That's super context because again, until the Browns game, they haven't actually let him become a gunslinger like these other guys were. Joe Burrow so far through his career, his least amount of throw attempts he's had in a game is more than what Haskins had at as his best game ever, the most he ever threw in a game until that Browns game, which goes to show you that Joe Burrow has been allowed to sling the ball, and he hasn't been great. He has good moments, bad moments, but to use yards as an example is not a good stat because they throw the ball more with Joe Burrow. We just started throwing the ball with Haskins since the Browns. They haven't babied Joe Burrow, and we just stopped babying Dwayne Haskins. All right, let me bring on my boy Argo, then we're gonna bring on my boy Calvin, then we're gonna bring on Ivory. Then we got 757 from Norfolk, Virginia, and then we got Kevin from Detroit. Let me bring on Argo. What's good, Argo?
What's good? I just I missed most of it because my phone died. You know how it is. My phone died, so yeah. Yeah. So I have no idea what most people said. But the way, just straight up, there was last week stopped babying. We just stopped babying Dwayne Haskins. We decided to finally take him out of his crib. We finally just took him out of the hospital. Just finally let him sling it. But just our O-line, straight up. If we knew it was going to be this bad, you know how we should have just picked up all those O-linemen in free agency. We should just take up as many free agents for O-line veterans. So, nobody has a worse situation. You've been saying this since week 3. We should. We just had Dwayne has the worst situation
Yeah.
I'm handed over now.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling in, Argo. Appreciate it. Definitely catch you next week and all of that. Appreciate you.
Yeah. But Ravon Rivera just needs to stop giving up and actually fight for the game. That's all I have to say, man. I'm out now.
All right, I agree. So thank you, Argo. I'll catch you next week.
Okay.
All right, what's good, Calvin? I'm really interested in seeing what you got to say, man. What's good?
Hey, what's good, man? Hey, look, man, this is what I'm going to say. The McKissick fumble was disappointing. It really was. It was disappointing, man. I was like, don't even put it back in the game, man. We can't afford that so early in the game to give a short field like that. The defense was very disappointing today. This is what I'm going to say about Haskins. You know, I'm not one of the ones that say, oh, man, sit him down. But this is what I will say. The concerning thing with me and Haskins is this. Yeah, I think they should, let him throw. But I'm concerned because his pocket awareness is terrible. He can't roll out. When he does, it's to the wrong side of the field. You can't roll to the left. He just seems like he doesn't have a feel for the pocket. And that's concerning because in today's NFL, I don't know not one pocket quarterback. The Dan Marinos, those days are gone. And the fact that Dwayne cannot move in the pocket, I mean, he's taking these 7-step drops, 5-step, and he's staying there. You can't stay there with these outside rushes with the speed that they have. You cannot stay in that 7-step drop. You have to step up in the pocket.
Yeah, I said that during the game, too. That was getting on my nerve also.
Rico, if you look at all the games, he does that. That's concerning to me, and that's why I feel like there's got to be a change. And this is what Ron Rivera is talking about. If you don't improve on those things, that's why Rivera's making these statements now. That's why you hear these rumors about, potentially sitting them down, because you can't go through each game and still look the same. This 300 yards, that means nothing to me. If he throws for 130, that means nothing. What I want to see is him move in the pocket, create more time so your receivers can get to where they need to get, or get separation if they can get separation. But the more he doesn't have this pocket awareness, the more he doesn't step up in the pocket, the more he doesn't slide to the left, slide to the right. Like Brady, everybody knows Brady can't run, but he does a great job of stepping up in the pocket and moving left, moving right. He can't be successful. And so that's where my frustration comes with Haskins. It's not that I'm giving up on him, but, man, every game I'm looking at, he's doing the same thing in the pocket, which is nothing. And then everybody wants to blame, the offensive line is trash. Well, if you don't move in the pocket, it's going to look like they're trash. But the offensive line did a decent job today. Look, they were blitzing every third down. What you think they're not going to do? They're going to blitz on third down, especially the third downs we had, because it was third and long. So it's just disappointing in that aspect of Haskins, where, to me, he has not improved at all in the pocket. I mean, at all. I don't know what everybody else is looking at. Everybody else is looking at, he did better because he had 300. But, dog, what is he doing in the pocket? I see no improvement at all. And I want to see what you think about that.
All right. Well, yeah, no, I was saying all the whole live stream during the game. I was like, man, this man pocket presence is, and that's also another thing I said during the game is like, even Dwayne Haskins at his best, he'll never be the type of guy that can work behind a bad offensive line like a Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, or Justin Fields. So if you want to, go ahead and move on Haskins, just for that reason alone, you can, because those guys can work behind a bad offensive line. I've said that. Even Dwayne Haskins, even if he's as good as I think he'll ever be, or is great, even better than what I think he could be, he'll never be good enough to really work behind a terrible offensive line because he's not mobile. Now, improvement-wise, I would say he got a teensy bit less terrible, because against the Browns, that was some of the worst pocket presence I've ever seen. But like today, at least like with the Terry McLaurin bomb near the end, he stepped up and threw that. So like, it's nowhere near good yet. It's still a serious problem, but I would say it was like the teensiest, tiniest bit. It's hard to say improvement because it's still so bad, but it wasn't the Browns. The Browns was like the worst display of pocket presence I've seen from a quarterback, not even just Dwayne Haskins, period. So like, again, like I said, if you, I can't defend anything with him being mobile because he, like I was saying all during the stream, he is too heavy not to get QB sneak. So the one advantage to him being really slow is that he can at least get QB sneaks because he's so big. But at this point, we should just acknowledge that he's a Big Ben. He'll never be a Justin Fields. He'll never be a Trevor Lawrence. He'll never be a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. Like, those guys can work well behind a bad offensive line and make them look good. Haskins can't. If the offensive line is bad, Haskins is pretty much going to be generally bad until he can fix that pocket presence, which I feel like can only be fixed over time. But so far, we haven't seen a really noticeable improvement from that yet. And I'm also worried about that just like you are.
Right. And my last thing is, the thing with Kyle Allen, and I get it. I get about Kyle Allen, but this is what I will say. In sports, especially in football, sometimes teams need a spark. Now, I'm not saying that he's that spark, but what I'm saying is sometimes you just need a different situation that might bring a spark within the team. You know what I'm saying? So when Rivera started making these comments about, hey, I got to see improvement day in and day out, I think that's why he's saying that. The team, just may need a spark eventually, especially if this division keeps going the way it's going. The shame of today is this. If Philly wins tonight, literally, they would be in first place.
Yeah.
Be 1, 2, and 1.
Yeah, they would jump the first.
They would jump the first place because they got the time. They only got 2 more. Everybody else got 3. So, I'm not screaming for Kyle Allen, but I just want to see Haskins improve in the pocket. And I will agree with you. I feel like that can only come, if it comes, the more he plays. So that's all I got to say, man. Appreciate you, bro. Keep doing your thing, bro. I'll call in next week, bro.
Man, appreciate that, man. My boy Calvin, yes, sir. Make sure, shout out your Twitter if you want to, because that's usually where I end up hitting you up at. So if you want to shout out your Twitter, you got it.
Bro. I got you, man. Later, man.
All right, man. Before I bring on my boy Ivory, I just want to say that, with the whole Kyle Allen thing, I kind of see what Calvin was saying with like a spark. But at the end of the day, these players watch as much film as us, more film, and I'm pretty sure they know Kyle Allen is not it. I understand the logic. Maybe if we had a better backup quarterback, then that spark is a real thing. But I'm pretty sure Terry McLaurin is just sitting there boy, if y'all bench Kyle Allen, I'm never getting the ball. Or he's going to throw it a lot, it's going to be inaccurate. Or he's going to throw so many picks. I'm pretty sure Terry McLaurin is just sitting back please don't start Kyle Allen. I beg y'all. And if we start Kyle Allen, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see a different demeanor amongst Terry McLaurin and all of those other guys. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say start. I understand the logic, of removing Dwayne Haskins from the situation, or even if Dwayne Haskins was here, but it was a different backup quarterback. I understand the logic of getting a spark off the bench by bringing in somebody new and showing the team that hey, we won't accept mediocrity, we won't accept losing. But Kyle Allen is so bad that I think it would have a reverse reaction. You would have guys like Terry McLaurin, Jonathan Allen, those guys that want to win now. There's no way you're throwing out this guy with this noodle arm trying to think we gonna try to win something. You know what I'm saying? And you giving up on your main quarterback, the guy we hyped up throughout the whole offseason and stuff like that. I think if anything, it might kill the morale in this team. Because again, Kyle Allen is terrible. As much as I know it, they watch more film than me. They know it. And they saw him in practice. They're the guys that practice with and against them. They know Terry McLaurin is terrible. Kyle Allen is terrible. If you ask them and they could give their honest opinion from an anonymous source, I'm pretty sure it would be 99% Dwayne Haskins, 1% Kyle Allen. All right, let me go ahead and bring on my boy Ivory. Let me see. All right, there we go. What's good, Ivory?
Hey, what's up, Rico? Real quick, I got a few points to make. First of all, I absolutely disagree with the previous call about pocket awareness. You can't have pocket awareness when you're getting quick middle pressure. This is what's happening. I'm going to break it down to you. Both defensive ends, when Haskins drop back, are penetrating to the level of the quarterback. So and what do you do when that happens as a quarterback? You step what? Up. There's no step up because Haskins is getting middle pressure. So when he does that little thing where he's looking for the side door to run out of, there's no side door. There's nowhere to run for him because he's being blocked in. If the defensive ends rise to the level of the quarterback, he can't go around those guys because he's boxed in. And if he's getting middle pressure, the play is basically dead. So he's either trying to arm throw it or he's being forced to take a sack. That's why his pocket awareness looks so crazy, is because he's getting too much quick pressure on the outside because the defensive ends are rising to his level too fast. That's why if you have an elite level left tackle, that left tackle is going to stunt that defensive end 2 to 3 yards from where the level of the quarterback is, so the quarterback can take his time and survey the field and then slide out the side if he needs to be. That wasn't happening today. Calais Campbell was busting right through there. They were using the other little smaller linebackers and safeties in there. So this pocket awareness question with Haskins, it's only as valuable as the offensive line you have in front of you. Okay, now the second point I want to make. We're talking about improvement. Haskins was far better today than he was last week. He was terrible last week. I thought he was okay. This is the first game I thought all season that Scott Turner called a game plan recognizing the weaknesses of his offense. He called a bunch of those smoke screens and those short completions, and we were burning the Ravens with it. If you noticed in the game, there was a couple times where Haskins looked deep. Guess what teams are doing? They're playing that safety back on McLaurin's side of the field. They're not going to let McLaurin take the top off the defense. You don't think the Ravens thought, the Redskins saw Mahomes beat us deep last week, so they're going to probably think, they can run their little fast guy by us too. No, because we only have one little fast guy, they're playing their safety right over top of McLaurin. So basically, the plays that are open to him are those slants. That's what's open. The only reason late we got that play to McLaurin because he lined up in the slot and then he curled outward and the safety was trapped inside. That's the only reason, and probably because they were backup players in the game. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they were their starters were still in the game and we just took advantage. The scheme and the subs not playing discipline is what caused that because they probably wasn't keen on McLaurin in that slot at that point. But all the other parts of the game, they're basically taking away the deep ball. And I've seen Haskins look downfield and look for it every time. Another thing with Haskins, I thought he played okay today. I don't have a big beef with him today. When you consider, this is what we have on offense. Gibson out of the backfield, Terry McLaurin. Most every team that's quality has what? A tight end at the top, the middle of the field, and a slot receiver at the top, the middle of the field.
We saw what Mark Andrews did. We saw it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's your security blanket as a quarterback. Tom Brady has lasted his whole career doing what? Throwing the running back and throwing to the tight end. You know what I'm saying? Those are the easy throws to make, and it's the hardest ones for the defense to navigate. But Haskins doesn't have any of the security blankets. So I get frustrated when I hear people act like Haskins, is some trash. Yes, he cost us the game last week. But if you look at the other 3 games, he's been okay. He's been okay to the level of our offensive talent. We don't have much of an O-line, and I think Gibson today took a step towards possibly becoming a dominant player in our offense.
Yes,
today
sir.
was his breakout game, and I think you're going to see him improve as the season goes on. You know what I'm saying? McLaurin, they finally did what we said, Rico. They just kept throwing to him. You know what I'm saying?
Got to just force it. Just force it. Even if he's not that open, just get it to him, bro. Something.
That's what I'm saying. He was just basically open and we forced it to him. But I'm going to tell you what the biggest disturbing part, and I don't hear Rivera talking about this, Del Rio talking about this. Our defense is playing bad. We're allowing too many touchdowns. We're not holding teams to field goals enough. They're busting big plays on us. The Lamar Jackson play. Ryan Anderson, he just didn't have discipline. If he waits right there, the Jackson runs right into him. But he charges inward, gets juked, leaves a big gap in the line of scrimmage, and it's a big touchdown run. Our defense is struggling because our safety play has been abysmal. And it's not just been Abke, who I know has been bad. It's no way he should be. I don't know why Everett or someone else is not playing. And like you said earlier during the stream, you can't really replace Landon Collins with Curl at this point because we paid Landon $2 billion to play, and you don't just throw the young guy in over Collins. Even if he plays better, you can't justify that call and keep Collins on the roster. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, we have to live with that. But our linebacking play, we're not playing well, man. In our coverages, KPL is okay, but you're not hearing anybody else make any plays. Bostic and Sean Hamilton. I'm almost ready for Holcomb to get back out there. We got to see some better play in our coverage amongst our linebacker level. Our corners are okay, although Darby is a victim to get beat. Fuller, he got 2 picks today, so he has playmaking skills. But yeah, I'm not busting on Haskins for today. I think he should keep playing. I thought he took a step forward. I thought Scott Turner took a step forward, and I think we're ready to become. I think we're going to be better on offense moving forward because I think we're starting to see how to implement and use Gibson, which takes the pressure off McLaurin, we finally have some things maybe we can rely on offensively.
And Isaiah Wright too.
I didn't feel like we had nothing. What you think about what I'm saying?
You said, what'd you say?
I said, what you think about what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, now I think we're only going to get better moving forward. Also, I don't think it's going to be an up and down thing because Dwayne Haskins' situation around him with the coaching, the play calling, all of that hasn't been up and down. It's been severely up and down. It's not him. It's everything around him has been changing, different. The first 2 games, they decided, hey, just let Haskins game manage. We're going to try to run the ball and win with defense. Then out of nowhere, the Browns game, we're like, all right, Dwayne Haskins, it's all on you. Win this game with your arm. And, of course, he looked terrible. And, flat out, no excuses. He was terrible. But then this game, after getting some film on that from that Browns game, after Scott Turner seeing what Haskins finally actually getting a real analysis of him, seeing what he does well, what he doesn't do well, and seeing how to use Antonio Gibson, he came into this game with a better game plan overall. And that's why Haskins looked better. Haskins had really no way but to go up from that last game. But at the same time, he got better because he actually gained some experience. Again, that game against the Browns is the first game Haskins ever actually was able to make his own decisions, his own reads, his own throws, and all of that type of stuff. The offense wasn't choreographed from him. It wasn't Scott Turner over the mic saying, all right, Terry McLaurin is going to run this route, throw him the ball once he's open in this spot. No, these last 2 games has been these 4 receivers are running these routes, scan the field, figure out which one is winning, and then hurry up and deliver the ball. It was the first time he's actually been a real NFL quarterback, so of course he failed the first time. Of course he looked better the second time, and I'm expecting him to get better and better over time.
I have one more thing, man. Post-game interview, Rivera said of Haskins on that 4th down play, 4th and goal he went for. He said, I was giving the kid a test for him to improve his situational awareness. I thought that was the stupidest thing. I'm not for all of this experimenting in game. I think the only way you really get better and become a winning team is to try to win games. It's 4th and goal from the 12 or 13. Haskins, he threw it underneath, which was, looking back, was stupid. But I recognize why he didn't do it. The Ravens knew he was going to the end zone too. They were all sitting there on that play. If he throws it to McLaurin or anywhere, it's most likely going to get intercepted. And so Rivera was basically saying, I was just trying to see what he would do. And I'm just like, dude, kick the field goal. Give your offense some confidence and then try to get the ball back. I don't want you trying to manufacture these tests to see if Haskins is going to stick it in there and throw an interception. That's almost like it was no way for him to succeed. The reason he checked it down, why? Because he didn't want to throw the interception. He knows that the fans and the media, everybody's going to say, he threw a red zone interception. The coach might have been like, yeah, that's a good play. He just tried it. But the media and the fans and everybody killed
No, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that. If he would have thrown that interception, which it would have been, because they probably had like 7 guys just sitting back there in the end zone waiting for him to throw it, then everybody would have been on his head about not throwing a touchdown and having an interception that game without no context of how the interception happened or when it happened. We'll look down 4 weeks from now and be like, and everybody will be like, well, he finally had 300 yards, but he also threw an interception. So yeah.
You would have killed him. That's why he checked it down. Haskins made the mental calculus. You know what? This gonna seem like a dumb play, but at the end of the day, at least I won't throw that interception. Who knows? They might run it back for a touchdown or whatever, and everybody's gonna say, "Oh, Haskins threw another interception in the red zone." So at that point, for the coach to actually come out and say, "I was putting him to the test, and he has to work on situational awareness." No, you do, coach, because we're down 18. You bring the lead down to 15, and then there's 2 possessions, and we still have a chance.
And
you the one that need to work on your situation.
And if anything, even if it's Tom Brady, the coach would be like, all right, it's 4th and 12. He'll probably just tell him like, hey man, just make sure you throw it to the end zone. Just try. Not just leave him out there with this ambiguous, play that's like, do we throw it? Should he throw it? Like giving him a test. I completely disagree with the whole test situation. I think it's dumb. I don't think it's a bad thing to tell Haskins, when in doubt, throw it at the end zone. If you end up throwing an interception, I'll fall on that bullet for you. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's necessarily Haskins is dumb because the coach has to tell him, when in doubt, at least try to throw it to the end zone. I don't think that's bad.
I think Haskins made the calculus. Look, man, I'm gonna be the one to get killed in the media if I throw it.
Basically.
Haskins was like, look, I got killed last week for interception. I gotta come out of here unscathed. If I throw this pick, because I'm telling you, I looked at the coverage and I thought, oh my God, he's about to throw an interception if he goes to the end zone. He threw it underneath, and I was like, okay, that was stupid, but I know why he did it, because he didn't want to get drilled by the media and the fans, because they're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And his coach, I just think those kind of decisions, to me, the coach is situational. He's the coach. He's the mature, veteran, experienced guy. He gotta have his team back and kick the field goal, make it a 15-point lead, which is 2 scores, and just go from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk too much more on your time, man, but talk about that defense a little, man. It's a problem, Rico. It's a problem.
Oh yeah.
We're not playing well on defense. It's a problem.
At the beginning of this.
Go ahead. I'll talk about that.
All right, man. Appreciate that, Ivory. Thank you for calling in as always. See you next week, and But yeah, I said at the beginning of this live stream, the people I'm most mad at today was Ron Rivera and the defense. Without a doubt, the defense was the reason we lost this game. Point blank, period. Haskins could have played better. He wasn't great, but he was definitely better. And he could have played better, but this game is on the defense. It's on J.D. McKissick fumbling. It's on us not being ready for that fake punt. Literally subtract J.D. McKissick fumbling and that fake punt that they went for it, and the game is literally 17-17. So at the end of the day, I think we just got outplayed. We got outcoached, and our defense just was not ready for that. And you can see we miss Reuben Foster. We really need safety help. I mean, it's a lot of problems out there, and you can see it. All right, so let me go ahead and bring on my boy 757. Who's this? 757.
Hey, Rico.
What's good? Who is this?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Hello? Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, like the dude before me, I wanted to talk about balance. One of these, I don't know if y'all looked at the film for that game, but Landon Conley, a lot of missed tackles actually. But I do agree with what you said. You can't really just substitute him or take him out, because then you still have the millions that we pay him. Troy Peak, as usual, fast, but his coverage still needs a lot of work there. I'm hoping that he gets better on. Again, with the Dwayne Haskins in the pocket, I mean, I see where the other guy before the guy that just called was saying what the pocket awareness, but I also see what the last guy was saying about there not being enough space. There just really isn't. But I just
Bet, man. First of all, good points, and also, who is this?
my name is Maury. I was in the stream earlier, but sometimes when I'm trying to stream, like I be working, so.
All right, and how you said Maury, like Maury?
Yeah,
Oh, Mari. All right, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Yeah, great point. Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle too, where it's like, I mean, Haskins does have to, his pocket awareness is not there, but also the offensive line isn't. We don't have a good enough offensive line for him to like really work on it yet. So yeah, I'm somewhere in between where it's like I can see both sides where the offensive line is terrible. There's nowhere for him to, but then there's plays where the offensive line does block well, but Haskins doesn't have the pocket awareness to step up and make the throw like he's supposed to. And again, it's kind of like who came first, the chicken or the egg? Is Dwayne Haskins? Dwayne Haskins' pocket presence is bad because the offensive line has been so bad, and when they finally do block well, he just doesn't seem ready for it, and it's made him build up even worse mechanics and technique and footwork, things like that. Since he's been he's regressed in that way, I believe, since college because the offensive line has been so bad. But at the same time, you can't always blame the offensive line. There's teams out there with worse offensive lines, and he just needs to be play better, point blank, period. Get his pocket awareness up. But at the same time, he's only going to get better with that with time. We can't give up on him yet.
Yeah, and I had a couple more points. On some of the defensive plays, I was really sitting back, and I watched the whole game from start to finish. I was looking like, did they even game plan for Lamar Jackson? Because if you look, okay, Lamar Jackson is fast, we know this, but on these plays, of course, anybody they play, they're going to run the read option. And it just looks like every play they ran it, the linebackers jumped on the running back first and cared about nothing else.
Yeah, that's where that big, career touchdown run came from. Everybody bid on the running back.
It's like, we understand how lethal Mark Ingram is, but, look at the quarterback. It's like, and then another play with Landon Collins. Landon Collins is playing back, as safety, overviewing the field. I don't see how you see the play beginning and, you're still late to get. Again with Troy Peak, you can see on the replay, it's like they see it, but they're just somehow late to get there.
Yeah.
And I understand with the double coverage with Troy, Terry Florence taking the top off the defense, but another thing I felt like they should have targeted is Marcus Pierce. He is a good corner. I'll give him that, but penalty-wise, he is not good. I felt like if they would have took a lot of shots, we could have got a lot of flags for PI because, especially last week, he's just not good covering deep. Another Ronald Darby, but somewhat better.
Yeah, he's a risk taker too. So if you hit him with double moves and stuff, you can definitely get him. I love Marcus Peters. Again, he's one of my favorite football players. Just who he is in real life. I'm always rooting for him. But on the field, he's definitely,
Yeah, another physical kind of guy.
Yeah.
Want to get his hands on you off the line and down the field.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But alright, man. You got anything else for the show? Oh, I'm sorry. I pressed the button by accident. I'm sorry. Hold on. Alright, there you go. You got anything else for the show?
Yeah, Antonio Gibson really did have a really good day today. I felt like that's because, like you said before, they really did let Haskins do what he did. I was honestly kind of somewhat surprised that the Ravens let them get that with the that bubble screen play that many times because I think we ran it I want to say over 10 times.
Bruh.
I was just wondering how they're still getting hit by it over and over. But again, another part of that being is they do know how Dwayne Haskins' pocket passing awareness is. So sending that blitz, they already know he's not going to do nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, and I definitely agree with you where it just seemed like we didn't even game plan for Lamar Jackson today. And yeah, I'm surprised that the Ravens defense fell for so many screen passes. It was just after a while, y'all not ready for this yet? But I was glad it was still working. I guess it was just great execution on our part, I'm assuming, but still.
Yeah, at first it really just didn't look like we did no game plan for Lamar Jackson.
None.
I guess they just, on most of those read options, you could see it coming from a mile away. It's and then back to Landon Collins, it's we pay him millions just to mid tackles in open field.
Yeah, now Landon Collins had a terrible last 2-3 games. He looked alright, he had a bad first half, good second half, the first 2 games, and since then he's just looked straight bad. Missing open tackles and all of that. So I don't know. But man, I appreciate you, Mari. I got you logged in. I saved your name and all of that. So definitely pull up whenever you feel like it, especially next week and all of that, to call in and give more good points. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, and can I say one more thing?
Oh yeah, you good? Yeah, yes sir.
Yeah, I felt like we better. We're not taking, like, of course it is the Ravens, but if you go back and watch the film for this game, on a lot of throws, Hollywood Jackson has our corners beat so bad. And if there's just any type of an accurate throw from Lamar Jackson, the score could be 50 to something. Like, I could name 4 passes where he just has the top of the defense with Landon Collins and Troy Aikman guarding him, and they're just an inaccurate throw.
Yeah, that's a good point. He did miss a lot of open people. I remember. I can vividly remember 3 times where our safeties were beat. The receiver was down the field, and all Lamar Jackson had to do was just deliver a better ball. I mean, and one time he delivered a good one when the receiver was double teamed, but it went through the receiver's hands. But still, yeah, it was a lot of missed opportunities between Lamar Jackson and the receivers where they had our safeties beat. At least I remember vividly 3 times. But like you said, it's probably more than that.
Yeah, and then with the whole Mark Andrews thing, Mark Andrews, I mean, he's a tight end that you absolutely have to game for, or else he's just going to torch you all day long. Already with the 2 touchdowns, I forgot how many receiving yards, but basically he just torched us all day long.
Yeah. I'm not surprised, and I was sad because I was going against him in fantasy in one of my leagues, so I already knew it was up before the game started.
Yeah, but all right, hopefully we have a better game next week against the Rams, and I don't know why people are expecting for us to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, this is how do you say, a year where we're just testing things out, but some people have some real high expectations for a team with no offensive threats and barely stable offensive line and a quarterback who has no real quarterback experience till the beginning of this season.
Yep, couldn't say it better on that one, man. I couldn't say it better. But all right, man. I appreciate that, Mari.
All right, I'll be back next week. I'll call this week.
All right, bet. Got you next week. All right, we about to go. So we have 4 callers next. We have Kevin from Detroit. We got Dwayne, and we got Rich, and then we got Bobby Digital in LA. Just hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and bring on the next. Let me bring on Kevin next. Then it's Dwayne, then Rich, then Bobby. All right, there you go. What's good? What's good, Kevin?
Hey, what up, though, Rico?
What's happening?
Man, how you feeling, dog? How you feeling, man? Hey, but look, check this out, though, right? First of all, the team should have kept the offensive coordinator we had last year. Ron Rivera should have came in on the break saying, I'm going to make this work. They had chemistry, and he was getting better.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell had Dwayne Haskins looking the best we've ever seen. I'm right with you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and then that play that, oh, man, let me cut the TV down, man, because it's crazy.
You good. So that 4th down play where he went for, that's the only play I don't mind him throwing interception, man. You know what I'm saying? Do something. I mean, because they got him runs, but you know what I'm saying? They throwing it. You know what I'm saying? You either going to win or you're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? And then with our defense being bad, the offense gives it up 3-0 the majority of the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, Dwayne, I'm a little frustrated in Dwayne. Yeah, I am. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not bad at it because for simple fact, he ain't playing a whole lot in college. Everybody know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying? So, in the NFL, he had, 9 stops? You know what I'm saying? But the kid is getting better, but he's also making me a whole lot frustrated too, man. You know what I'm saying? He don't scramble to the right. You know, he's always going to the left, running in the sack. You know what I'm saying? So a whole lot of that is on the wing. But on the flip side, we dealing with a pandemic. Everybody already knew. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, the off-season was already crazy. It
Yeah.
was already crazy, man. But Scott Turner, man, his whole demeanor is soft. You know what I mean? He's soft. He looks like he don't talk. You know what I'm saying? He act like he might be shy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, offensive coordinator, I mean, I'm not feeling Scott Turner at all, man. At all. You know what I'm saying? And Jack Del Rio, he wasn't that much of a beast of a defensive coordinator. He was always losing wherever he went. Always losing. I mean, he did go to the Super Bowl one time, yeah. But still, you know what I'm saying? It's I think Dwayne is alright, man. And I think he can get a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? And the way the game has been played for the past 2 weeks is not giving him no success. You know what I mean? He's not getting no success. He's not been set up to succeed, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because we got enough weapons, man, that Dwayne can show off. Come on, dog. We got enough weapons for him to show off. You know what I'm saying? So,
I definitely want us to get more aggressive on trying to throw the ball more and throw it down the field.
Yeah, and Landon Collins is garbage, man. Hey, dog, he's garbage. You know what I mean? He ain't got no business talking about Sean Taylor, man. He ain't got no business talking about Sean Taylor.
Not announced.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you like him and all that, but you ain't got no business. And they gonna sport his number, 26. Come on, man. That's Sean Taylor's number, man, 26. He did not need to have that jersey on, man.
Well, Sean Taylor wore 26 at one point.
Yeah, he wore 26 in Miami, dog.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh yeah.
You tripping? I'm a Sean Taylor fan, son.
Yeah, man. Somebody need to help that man. I don't know what's going on with Landon Collins lately, man. It ain't it.
He's garbage, dog. He's garbage. You know what I'm saying? And look, and dog, we should have kept O'Connell from the get-go. Ron Rivera should have been like, look, man, I don't care what happens, dog. He ain't going nowhere, man. I'm keeping him. You know what I mean? But also, the offensive line ain't that bad either, man. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line is not that bad, dog. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne just bullshit and put Kyle Allen in for what? For what? Kyle Allen is garbage, dog. Put him in for what? See Dwayne in that motherfucker, man, 2 next year, man. We're gonna get that second pick. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get that second pick. You know what I'm saying? And look. And what I'm about to say? We're gonna get that second pick. We can go ahead on there. I mean, this is what I was gonna say. Okay, now the NFC East is bad. You know what I'm saying? But they scoring, dog. We ain't scoring nothing. We're not scoring no points. You know what I'm saying? We're not scoring no points. You know what I'm saying? So the NFC East might be all ugly and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? But we still, dog, gonna win no more than 4 games this year, dog. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to hear what you guys say to whatever I say. I'm not gonna hold the line up like everybody else did, man. I think you should be kept down for like 5 minutes though, for real. You know what I'm saying? Cause hey, look, them bounds be rapping, dog. Them bounds be rapping, man. Shut up, man. Say what you guys say, man. And go ahead and get your analysis. You know what I'm saying? And we'll call it a day, yeah. Go ahead, Rico.
All right, Kevin, man. Appreciate the call, man. First of all, our division is trash, but I honestly, for me, the Cowboys are putting up that many points because it's garbage time, And I don't know why we're not doing that with Dwayne Haskins, because when it's 2-minute offense, hurry up offense, and the defense is playing pre-bid defense, Haskins is just killing teams. And I don't know why Ron Rivera isn't letting him get those moments that Dak Prescott is getting. But I feel like we may actually be better than the Cowboys. I don't know. It's tough to say because they have so much talent, but they're underperforming. But the rest of the division is bad. They're terrible right now. I mean, the fact that they allowed the Browns to put up 49 on them. We weren't even that bad. So I think, honestly, the Cowboys' offense is better than ours, but their defense is, like, way worse. So, yeah, I think... Huh? Oh, that was me in the background. Oh, okay.
I'm saying, looking at this TV, right? Because I got YouTube on, right? You know what I'm saying? And the number all up on there, so so my folks like, what do you say? But yeah, though, man, I'm gonna go ahead and holler at you, Rico, man. Hey, look, good luck for taking my call, Pepper.
Man, appreciate the call, man. Always entertaining. Kevin from Detroit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, dog. Hey, represent, man. Hey, I fuck with your channel, dog. I watch your shit faithful. Yeah,
man, appreciate that, man. For real.
Hey, look, I'm gonna holler at you, though, Rico.
All right, man. Bet. All right, we're going to bring on Dwayne Dawson. What's good, Dwayne? Now Brody wants attention. I'm sorry. Hold on.
What's going on, man?
What's good, Dwayne?
Hello? Listen, why is everybody getting worried? These previous two callers, man, just doom and gloom people, man. Did y'all forget that the Ravens was one game away from the Super Bowl? Huh? Hello? I mean, come on, y'all. Did you expect it? Lamar Jackson? People know that he's going to do all the read options and scrambles and bootlegs a lot of times. He still can't stop him. He's a dynamic quarterback. I think when we stopped this and we just used our front four, we got to him. That's why he was throwing inaccurate passes sometimes, because we were putting pressure on him. So I don't get it when he says the defense let them down, blah, blah, this and that. They just a better team right now. I think Dwayne Haskins more poised today.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, you can't just go ahead and... We got plenty of coaches for, like, going to fourth downs and all that stuff, but at the same time, a big defensive play by the Ravens that knocked them back 12 yards messed everything up. Haskins should have threw that ball away quickly. But that was it. It was just a couple of big plays here and there that can change the game. It just didn't go our way today. That's it. I think we still better than our record show. And we're probably the best team in the NFC East, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, right now, the only team we're really competing against is the Cowboys, but at the same time, they have all of that talent but underperform. And people are always going to say they score all of these points per game, but they're all garbage time minute points, which we could easily score if Ron Rivera gave us a chance. Huh?
I disagree with that, because when you first started off, they would start off good. Started off with consistency, got up with some chemistry. It's just a costly fumble turned the game around. It's still a young team, you know? So, it's not like it was impossible to keep it a close game. But once the Ravens got on early, because of the turnover, they always had to play catch-up. We've been playing catch-up all year. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, man, we just got just as much talent as any other team. We're not soft. We have injuries. Our defensive line is, I think, at least top 5 to me. And that's not because I'm a Washington fan. It's just facts. They up there with the San Francisco defensive line. But then this guy said Jack Del Rio was winning, and he made Jacksonville's defense great when they were losing. One thing they had was defense. So I'm not worried about Washington, losing a few games because they're
they're not there yet. Let's think about it. What if Haskins had really had a full training camp? Oh man.
Exactly. He hasn't had one yet.
And he went through like three coordinators.
Four technically. Scott Turner's the fourth technically.
Okay, but what you want the man to do? Man wasn't really wanted by Gruden earlier last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tried to make him, he made the best of it. He don't give him credit for that.
Yep.
Man don't get credit for perseverance. Now, do he need to work on some things like the outside passing routes? Yes. He put too much money on the ball for stuff. Now, he was throwing flat and outside routes a lot better today. I was impressed for today.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. You still here. You good.
Yeah, I mean, I understand about it. Just all of a sudden, man, being negative about it. I just think that the win beat the Ravens. I mean, you talking about Lamar Jackson, dog. Come on, man. Now, that crazy thing on touchdown run he did, that was the biggest play they had on. But other than that, man, I think they contained him pretty good. Get to Lamar Jackson. Some people think he's like the second best quarterback, dangerous quarterback in the league after Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, goddamn. They're not first working. So you got an inconsistent offense like that. See? But they did all right.
Yeah.
Kind of killed. That's all. And then, sometimes Ron Griffey is just experimental stuff.
Yeah. Getting a little frisky out there.
And just try to win the game. You know what I'm saying? Because Ron, I understand he's trying to develop chemistry and everything, but also when you pull out a win, stuff like that they build confidence just by, winning alone, even if it's, so-called lucky wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In situations like that, football like that, you got to get them to get the field goal, get every point that you can, and have the confidence that you can get the ball back and score. Because it been many. I mean, he really had some good offensive drives. He had better offensive drives than he did in against Cleveland last week, in my opinion. If you go by just the eye test. Do you think that he had better drives today than he did last week? Because I think he played a lot better this week against a better team than last week against Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he definitely, again, they finally they took the training wheels off of him on against the Browns. He wasn't ready. He experienced he made a lot of mistakes. He came back and bounced back like he was a little bit more well prepared, which makes sense. It was his second time being a gunslinger in his NFL career after having a short college career. So, yeah, he definitely should have bounced back better against the Ravens. And the Ravens are a good team, so he did better than what I expected. He didn't play great, but he definitely did better than what I expected out of him. I didn't expect him to bounce back that far. I thought he was still going to throw maybe like 1 or 2 interceptions. But yeah, it was definitely better than that Browns game.
I think they need to start after the interior lineman because they just going up the middle with him and he's getting sacked like.
And that's a non-mobile quarterback like him worst enemy right there. That interior pressure.
Right. I thought he was a little bit more mobile than that. I think it was exaggerated. Oh my God. That last sack really killed that drive. Then it was 4th and like 3rd, 20 or whatever. That last one really hurt us.
Yeah, he had to throw that out of bounds.
If he gonna throw in if he throw it in the end zone, he got to throw it in the corner of the end zone. He needs to go and throw 20 times a day corner routes. It seems like he just, I don't know. He's more of a down the field. See, Dwayne Haskins would be good in an open offense like his showing his natural talent in certain offenses, like a running shoot or Eric Coryell kind of offense or stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely he would look better if we gunsling a little bit more and threw down the field more.
Exactly. That's why I was like, why in the world if he gonna do all that, they said they gave him versus they kept Adrian Peterson. Yeah, for real, though. If he just gonna throw short passes, just run it. But the running back's impressing me. I like McKinney, but he just made a bad fumble.
Yeah.
At certain times. McKinney to me is faster than Gibson, but Gibson doesn't know how to. I don't know. He's really impressive. Gibson, and you didn't get AGG out there yet performing.
Yeah.
But shoot, Edmund really impressing me. To be honest with you, Edmund, he's about the second one. I'm gonna say, like McLaurin. When Steven Sims is out, I think Edmund the one who's really been consistent, and Logan Thomas. And all the other people like Isaiah Wright, they follow him. I think Edmund has really, for the 3 games, he caught important passes, clutch passes. So
definitely against that Browns game.
I can't knock him. Yeah, I mean, I can't knock him. I mean, I know he's a veteran and he was never a star, but he's showing up this year. I mean, what can you say? Because that guy like Maury and the other guy before I was, they were like, man, I'm disappointed in this, I'm disappointed in that. I'm like, well, who has stopped Lamar Jackson? Then he just gives, I mean, he even showed up at Kansas City defense. Who has stopped Lamar Jackson, man? That's like he said, hey, man, I'm disappointed in New York Knicks because they didn't stop Michael Jordan. What? Come on, man. I think it was impressive, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, so y'all got to put things in perspective when you're grading some of these, when you're grading the defense or grading some of these teams. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's all. I mean, I'm just rambling right now, but well, the next people who be calling, man, just put all these things in perspective before you start.
That's what I've been trying to preach. Just gotta look. It's not excuses. You just gotta look at it in context. It's as simple as that.
Exactly. Because I was like, the running game was pretty good. Hey, the Sadiq Shaw was playing on the guard left tackle. Another rookie, the guy from LSU, Sadiq Shaw, the offensive.
Oh yeah, we need to get him healthy. He hasn't been healthy enough to play yet, but when he gets healthy, I think that's gonna help us a lot.
I thought he was out there today for some reason.
Oh no, we threw David Sharp out there. I think a couple of plays like on the QB sneaks, but I think that's it though.
I'm telling you, man, that the guard play, man. I mean, they doing okay. I mean, I'm gonna say our line is average, but it's you can do stunts on them, man. You can throw it can rush up the middle sometimes, and he ain't got the mobility to be dodging. You know, he ain't no Michael Vick.
Yeah, nah, he's more of a Ben Roethlisberger to me.
Yeah, but I think he more like Peyton Manning, but a little bit more athletic. Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, Roethlisberger, yeah.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, just move a little bit, just enough. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I mean, what you expect? I mean, I think that we could have had a touchdown in that last if it wasn't for that sack. Because we was doing.
Yeah.
He had like 5 drives that he could have got points out. I mean, they were moving the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny that they was moving the ball. They just certain key plays that.
It always starts with it's always a random penalty, and then the offensive line just gets bad overall, and then Dwayne Haskins makes a bad decision. It's literally always that. It's a penalty, offensive line fold. Dwayne Haskins doesn't know what to do when the offensive line is bad, and it's no excuse. Like the offensive line being bad is no excuse for Dwayne Haskins not throwing the ball out of bounds and none of that.
I forgot about the false start.
Yeah, it's as soon as we get on the 5-yard line, holding a false start, and then it just goes downhill. But yeah, but man, appreciate you calling in. We got 5 other people behind you, so we go ahead and move on.
I'm out. I was just rambling, you know what I'm saying? But like I said at the beginning, just all y'all people who calling me this guy, he did street scores right now. Man, calm down. So Lamar Jackson, you got to put these things in perspective. And the defense actually held them a little bit. I mean, they contained them, put it that way.
I agree. They didn't play well, but it's Lamar Jackson. What do you do type thing.
Right. Okay. All right, then. Thank you, man. Thanks for receiving my call.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Appreciate that. Dwayne, definitely call back next week, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, man. All right, my boy Rich is up next. Then we have 786 in Miami. I'm assuming that's Rodney because he said he was going to call in. Maybe that's you. Then we have Joe and Erica. Then we have a 210 number. And then we have an 804 number. So let me go ahead and pull up my boy Rich. What's good, Rich?
Oh, man. Thank you. Hello.
What's good, man?
Yeah. One thing, it was brought to my attention today about your boy. What's up with your boy Sean Dion Hamilton, huh? Yeah,
I don't know. Hey, man, that's crazy. He looked good the first 2 weeks, but I don't know. I haven't really even heard his number. Like, I haven't heard him make plays. Huh?
I did not see him the first 2 weeks. I can't vouch for you. I can't.
You can't, like Among Us. Can't vouch for me like Among Us.
I can't do it.
I remember seeing him the first 2 weeks, even though he didn't make a lot of plays, but he made some tackles. He was in some coverage. But these last 2 games, I literally haven't heard of him. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing because that means he's not the one giving up big plays. But that also means he's not making plays. I don't know. He's just kind of there. I forget he's on the team. I'm not going to lie.
I 100% forgot he was playing. I forgot he was on the team. And off of the last caller, Sadiq Charles, he was inactive today, so that's why he wasn't in that.
Yeah.
He was inactive.
He's just not healthy enough yet. But he practiced in full pads for the first time ever this past week. So hopefully that means he'll get on the field soon, maybe the next 2-3 weeks.
And you know me, every week I gotta come on here.
Morgan Moses.
Talk about Morgan
Moses.
Oh man, this was his worst week, and he didn't do that bad. Like you gotta give it to him. This was a bad week for him, and he didn't even do that bad. That one play, I was the only person that called him out. I hold people accountable for what they do. I hold myself accountable for what I do. Like, Matthew Judon just went straight by him, easy sack. And then, you guys got to understand, Haskins, the O-line, it's pretty bad. We got Morgan Moses. Jerron Christian actually isn't doing that bad. He isn't doing horrible. He isn't doing great. But, oh, man, Wes Martin is struggling. He needs help.
Boy, that interior is struggling more than the outside guys, man. And that's terrible for somebody like Dwayne Haskins that isn't mobile.
Doing horrible.
Yeah. That interior is struggling, and that's really bad for somebody like Dwayne Haskins that isn't fast.
But yeah, Chase Roulier, he was a gem for the time being, but I think we could hold on to him for this year and maybe another year. But then, like, the year after that, maybe we should invest like a 3rd-round pick in the center, like 2022 draft.
Yeah, I mean, there's still also Keith Ishmael, so we can see what he kind of got, but I'm not guaranteeing that he can replace Chase Roulier.
Yeah. Also, D-line very quiet today, very quiet. You could, like, people are gonna say Chase. It showed that we didn't have Chase Young. Personally, to me, I saw more of Matt Ioannidis. Like, we need him. That's more what I saw. I was looking at the game like, oh man, Matt Ioannidis would have been right there. Like that. All those times Lamar Jackson scooted up in the pocket, Matt Ioannidis would have already grabbed him, reached for him, something like that, slowed him down. Like Matt would have slowed that down way better than Chase Young could have done. Because Lamar wasn't rolling out much. He wasn't, like, rolling out and then killing us there. He was, like, the pocket collapsed, so he ran up. That's just what he does.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I also do feel like though that Chase Young helps a lot because I mean they've already since the second half of the Eagles game, Cardinals, everybody has been double teaming him, so that's how he helps because like it makes it one-on-one blocks for everybody else. Whereas when Chase Young's not there, everybody's get double teamed occasionally and stuff like that. But yeah, now Matt, for what we needed done today with Lamar Jackson, we definitely needed a Matt Ioannidis to have all kinds of pressure up the middle because he was escaping up the middle. He wasn't rolling out like that. He was going right up the middle to escape the pocket.
He might have rolled out 1 or 2 times, and that was because that's how the play was designed. Like, he was the pocket collapse, and boom, he runs up.
Yeah.
And obviously, Montez Sweat was, well, not obviously, I take that back. But Montez Sweat was quiet, John Allen was quiet. Deron Payne, my thing with Deron Payne, I never hated him. I liked Vita Vea better out of the draft, but he went exactly 1 pick ahead of us, so we had no other choice.
I was right with you. I wanted Derwin James, Vita Vea second, Deron Payne third. I'm right with you.
I wasn't really big on. I mean, I like Derwin James as a prospect, but I felt like D tackle was a way bigger need. Because then didn't Chris Baker leave, and our defensive line was still trash with Chris Baker, so.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not mad at that. It definitely was a bigger need. I just thought Derwin James is the more special talent. But now he can't stay healthy, so, who knows?
Yeah. And, hold on. I haven't checked it in a while, but Josh Allen, I have Josh Allen on one of my fantasy teams, but Sayi has him on his. And then he went out and came back. Hopefully he's not killing me. He's not, that's not killing, but that's doing something.
Josh Allen's he's one of those guys that you can depend on him to put up at least a certain amount because he also runs the ball. He'll get some rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, my other league, I'm pretty sure I'm winning the championship. But in this league, man, no McCaffrey, Kenyon Drake is struggling. Chargers defense did horrible. Tyler Higbee bad. Kenyon Drake is just saddening me, man. I'm glad I didn't pick him, but he's still on my team, so I want him to produce. Austin Eckler went down with the injury. Russell Wilson only dropped 20.9 points for me, man. 360 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. I don't know how you did these points, but
it's not me. I just create the league and they do the rules. I didn't even touch them, so don't look at me. That's ESPN.
But either way, man. Well, you might. I won't be mad if you don't answer this question because you might not remember. But every week, what have I been wanting and preaching? If you can answer, if you know.
Every week. Fantasy wise?
No. I'm talking about for the burgundy and gold.
Well, first of all, Morgan Moses.
No, like something that I've been wanting.
Dang, I can't. Let me know.
I've been wanting some bombs, man.
Oh yeah, we all want them, man.
I wanted some bombs, and we finally got one. We got one. It was in garbage time, but it still counted. We got a touchdown. We got one. I'll take it, but I want more.
Yeah, we need more.
Because that's what Haskins does. Haskins, he can be a playmaker, but he could be a playmaker by throwing it downfield. Now, I get it, the offensive line collapses a lot, and sometimes Haskins actually did very good with his reads today. Like, head on a swivel reads, like, I could just tell he was doing a great job today.
Yeah, he did a really good job with that.
He did a pretty good job with accuracy. A couple missed throws in the first half, but, like, later on in the game, he was doing good.
Yeah, I agree.
I could get jiggy with it.
Yeah, nah. He definitely Huh?
What were you saying?
I was just saying he is getting better with reads. That first game, the Browns, was the first time they allowed him to be a gunslinger, and they moved out of his way. They stopped babying him, and he failed the test. Today, he learned from it, and he makes better reads now. He's just a better quarterback at looking around. His main problem right now is just what he's doing in the pocket with his feet, his movement, and stuff like that. But again, it's a lot on the offensive line. It's a lot on Haskins, and they just need to fix that. And we do need to throw the ball deep downfield, but until our offensive line isn't ranked 30th in pass protection, that's going to be a little difficult for Scott Turner to draw up. But I think we should still try. We should still kind of try out there. But like Ivory said, they're also. I mean, after the Ravens got beat so bad by the Chiefs by going deep so much, I'm pretty sure, like Ivory said, they did game plan to make sure, if anything, they didn't get beat deep.
Yeah, man, but what's it called? If Landon, I don't even know how old Landon is, but however old he is, him in New York, he was a beast. He was getting interceptions. He was doing great. Last year, he was doing great too. I
think he led our team in tackles.
Yeah, he led the team in tackles. I think he was close to leading the league in tackles. So he had over 100, like 114 or something crazy like that. Like one NFC Player of the Week off of tackles. Like he was doing his thing. But I know a lot of people don't like that. I don't like paying him that much for tackles. Because I wasn't thinking that he was gonna be like a box safety. That's what you guys thought. I never thought that. I'm thinking he's a safety. He's gonna be in coverage.
Nah, he's not DJ that can do a little bit of both. He's just strictly, basically a small linebacker, really. I don't know why we're paying him that much money.
I mean, I never knew that was what strong safeties did, especially at the time, because I was like 13, 12 at the time. So yeah, but then Troy Apke, man, I really wanted Antoine Winfield. I like Jeremy Chin. I think Antoine Winfield won Defensive Rookie of the Month. So that just shows you.
Yeah.
How right I'm not gonna say how right I am, but how good he is. I really wanted Antoine Winfield. Troy Apke, he's fast, but like that's it. He's fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Which has saved us a couple of times. I think him being fast definitely saved his job and got him on the team. But him being fast, that's actually stopped a couple of touchdowns. But at the end of the day, if you don't get burnt, you don't need to use that speed.
Yeah, and I really hope we go get a Justin Simmons or Anthony Harris from the Vikings or the Broncos, please, in the offseason, please.
I really wanted both of them in free agency this year. You and me both. We both wanted them in free agency. It's just what do you call it? And then Anthony Harris 2019 had something crazy. He had like 7 interceptions last year.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Please, especially behind this defensive line when it's healthy. Please, Anthony Harris or Justin Simmons. Either one of them, I'll take them. Please.
Justin Simmons, he's great too. But hey, if we could draft a gem, that's fine.
Yeah, that would also be great. I mean, I trust Kyle Smith. I mean, the way we drafted in the 3rd and 5th rounds lately, I mean, I think we can definitely find somebody. But yeah, man. To me, because free agency happens before the draft, I don't even want to risk it. If Justin Simmons and Anthony Harris out there, pay them whatever they want. Please.
Nah, man. You know how when it comes to all the salary cap that we have, personally, I would just like to pay our in-house guys. That's what I want, because we have a lot of people to pay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can do both.
I would have rather signed him to a 4-year instead of a 3, but it's fine. No, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Who else? Deron Payne. They're probably going to re-sign him. He's more of a run stopper than a pass rusher, but he's a great run stopper. So
yeah,
Jonathan Allen, we should definitely re-sign him. He's doing good. He's above average. He's not elite. He's not great, but he's very good, and he's a great leader also. He is a great leader. I'll give you that.
Agreed. But I feel like we don't have to even pay those guys that much. I feel like we have enough salary cap to go get Anthony Harris, Justin Simmons, one or the other, and pay our guys. Because I don't think they're going to ask for that much. I mean, with the money Matt Ioannidis took on his last extension, I'm not expecting him to take that much. Jonathan Allen he's been pretty good, but he's definitely underperformed. So I think we can do both, honestly.
Yeah. It's what do you call it? If Jonathan Allen can pressure the quarterback more and get us 6.5, 7.5 sacks a year, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's cool. It's not what I thought he was gonna do when he came out of college, but that's still pretty good objectively.
Yeah. I mean, when we were at that pick, I was begging for Dalvin Cook, but then Dalvin Cook ended up going in the 2nd round, and I was like Jonathan Allen, but then I realized, well, he was supposed to go way higher, but. Was it
arthritis?
Underperforming because of injury? Or
No. They were scared. Right? They found out during the combine or something like that he had arthritis. Similar with Montez Sweat, he only went that far down because they found out he had heart problems. But no, Jonathan Allen was probably the best defensive player in college that year when we drafted him right before we drafted him. So I don't know why he's playing like this for us. But I mean, it's still not bad. But yeah, it's not like he's not what I thought he was gonna be. I thought Jonathan Allen was like the next big thing. The way he looked at Alabama.
Yeah. We all know that it's either me or you or both of us were in that front office or did something with the draft. We would just. If I could talk to Kyle Smith, I would literally just walk up to him and say, "Hey, you know that guy, Jabril Cox from Louisiana State?
Bruh, please
just check him out if you can get him because he is a gem. Like,
please,
he's a gem, man. But he's still not being talked about, even though he transferred to the national champions.
And he has a pick 6 already. I don't know why people aren't talking about him. Yeah, man. I love Jabril Cox, and I really hope we can get him. I had him in my mock draft last year, and I really hope we can get him this year coming up.
How did you find Jabril Cox?
I forgot, bro. I was just watching. I forgot. It was something like I saw like an article, and it was like underrated players somewhere, and I went and watched everybody's film. Like, all right, let me see what y'all are talking about. And then he was just like, wow, type of thing. And I was like, oh yeah, we can get him in the 6th round, 5th round, whatever I got. I was like, yes, sir.
He's like Patrick Queen. Yeah, he's like Patrick Queen.
Basically.
Comparison. Patrick Queen.
Basically. That's great. And we just went against him too. Yep. He might be a little bit more athletic, which may make him even better. We'll see though. But all right, Rich,
what do you call it?
I would normally let you just keep going, but you said you got one more thing? All right, cuz yeah, we got 4 more guys behind you.
I know you like the 3 quarterbacks at the beginning. I like Trevor Lawrence. If we don't get Trevor Lawrence, then if it's Trevor Lawrence, then sure. If it's not, then fine. Then just I wouldn't trade up for a quarterback either. And then I also like the Lyriq King, or us just drafting a late round quarterback, or just sticking with Steven Montez, because I believe in Haskins. I want him to play out his rookie contract. I'll take a late round quarterback, but if it's Trey Lance, top 10, or Justin Fields, top 5, nah, I'm fine.
I can't be mad at it. I understand. I love Trevor Lawrence. I like all 3 of them, but yeah, I can definitely see the strategy with getting like a Lyriq King in like the 4th round, and then that still allows us to get Panay Sewell in the 1st or Jamar Chase, and then address receiver or offensive lineman in the 2nd round, or tight end like if Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida, makes it, something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's and Anthony Johnson said there's also Jamie Newman out there. He may go late in the draft. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. You say what happened?
That's your quarterback, right?
Well, he technically never played for us. I forgot who he played for. Then he transferred to us, and then he opted out of the season before he even played for us. So yeah.
I don't get that point, but hey.
And man, I guess he didn't know COVID was coming. I guess I don't know, but yeah, man, Rich, thank you. Always appreciate your points and stuff. You say what?
Yeah, check out Pat Fryermuth. He's a tight end from Penn State. He's pretty good. He's like projected to be like a 1st rounder. He could block, catch. Not as electric as Kyle Pitts, but kind of like a T-Hawk.
Okay, bet. Pat Fryermuth. I found him. All right, bet. Got him. Born in 1998.
All right, Rico. I'm gonna check out. I'm about to join. In my party, I'm about to play some Nana.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling in as always, man. Catch you when I catch you, I guess. Xbox or whatever.
All right. Have a nice day, everybody.
Yes, sir. Look at that. Look at the maturity. My boy Rich, only 14. All right. All right. Let me bring on Miami 786. Did I unmute it? There we go. What's good, man?
Yo, what's good, man?
Who is this? What's good?
This is Rodney.
Yes, sir. Saving it in. I thought it would be you. Yeah, because you said you wanted to call in, and you were the only number without, like, a name on it at that time. So, what's good, Rodney?
Yeah, what's up, man? I'm just going to come in here, just come with a little facts, and I'm just coming really to talk about specific topics. I ain't going to go over everything, but just for all those who are the Kyle Allen fans, like, that's what I was just in the chat just talking about. Like, they really didn't watch him last year. This man in 13 games last year,
threw 17 touchdown passes. Pretty nice. He had a game where he threw 4 touchdown passes. Pretty nice. But Matt Flynn put up those type of numbers as well.
Yeah.
We all know what happened to Matt Flynn, who got beat out by Russell Wilson, and then went somewhere else and got beat out by, I think, Derek Carr.
Huh?
But this man, Kyle Allen threw 16 interceptions. He had a game where he threw 4 interceptions. Had 2 3-interception games. He had 8 games where he threw at least 1 interception. But, all right, interceptions, it could have been tip passes or whatever. All right, cool. He had 13 fumbles, 7 of them for losses. This man had almost 30-plus turnovers in just 13 games, but 12 starts. Come on, now. Y'all really saying Kyle Allen? And just to be in it, people were like, oh no, why you saying give Haskins time but don't give Kyle Allen time? This is year 3 for Kyle Allen. and in year 3, this man has played more games than Haskins has. So we're gonna give Kyle Allen more time, but not Haskins. Come on.
Yeah, man.
I've been saying this in chat as well. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say Kyle Allen's stats are kind of inflated too because those first couple of games, especially that first game, he had 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They didn't game plan for him. And you see, as soon as they started game planning for him, he struggled. Same with Gardner Minshew. But unlike Kyle Allen, Gardner Minshew actually bounced back and has become a decent quarterback. He started hot. Teams game plan for him. He looked bad, then he bounced back. Kyle Allen started hot. Teams game plan for him, and he never bounced back. I mean, he literally ended the season with his last 3 games were 6 interceptions, 2 touchdowns.
And one thing I can say about Gardner Minshew is even though he's the most highly rated, most highly coveted quarterback, he's not turning over the ball like Kyle Allen.
Boy,
like, you could get me with the interceptions, but can you get me with the 13 fumbles? He had 3 fumbles and an interception. Come on, man. You had games where the offense scored 3 points. At least with Haskins, he never had a game that bad. Like 3 points, and like I said, and I was saying, just being generous, I was like, okay, at this point in time, I see Kyle Allen as Colt McCoy. He could be in the league for a while. He might win you a game or so. The only thing, he'll be Colt McCoy without the injuries.
Yeah, man, I'm right with you.
But maybe
slightly more interception though.
He can, but I don't. Yeah. But and the thing about it, his deep ball accuracy, like I forgot who's. Oh yeah, this is what's his name? Damn, whose stream this was? I forgot who comment section I was in. But I looked up the stats. Kyle Allen last year ranked 32 in deep ball accuracy. 3rd most interceptable passes. Not just interceptions, but interceptable passes.
Mm-hmm.
3rd most in the league. In just 13 games, by the way. 12 starts. They looked at it only as starts, not 13 games, but just the starts. He was ranked 35th on deep ball completion.
Yeah.
So this is all last year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when I don't talk emotions. I don't talk your feelings, like how you feel about a play. I talk stats and I talk numbers. Like, I work for a sports agency. Like, you talk about how you feel, they're gonna look at you like you crazy. Like, you better, like, so my thing, and also, like I said in the comment section as well, I'm not a Haskins supporter. Honestly.
Yeah, people keep thinking we're rooting for Haskins, like we're saying he's gonna be great. We're just in the middle saying give him a chance. I never guaranteed Haskins is gonna be a great quarterback. I just hope he is.
Yo, I was so pissed when I saw we drafted Haskins. I'm like, the only thing that made me not turn off the draft was I was like, man, can we please do something? Can we? And I saw we drafted Montez Sweat, and I was happy. That didn't redeem the pick. I was just like, okay, I feel a little bit better now. Like, I did not want Haskins. I didn't want Haskins. I didn't want Daniel Jones. I'm not picking no quarterbacks from Deuce. Wendell has Deuce won anything. You're not a winning quarterback. You weren't that accurate in college. You're not that accurate in the NFL. Like, I didn't want either one of those. Like, I don't trust a Mitch Trubisky coming out of UNC. UNC? What are you talking about? That's the thing I'm talking about. Like, I'll take a Deshaun Watson who, yeah, he was not the most accurate quarterback, but he played winning football
against great teams.
In the league,
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's been in those big moments. Let me get a quarterback like that. Like, even for all the crap I give, what's his name? The Eagles quarterback,
Carson Wentz.
Even though he played D2, he was in big games for all 3 years. Now his body is failing him, and the best ability is availability. So I ain't gonna talk too much about that. You can't stay healthy. But like, even for me, like I told you, I barely trust Heisman quarterbacks. But sometimes the national.
Oh yeah, I don't know what goes. Heisman quarterback struggle, man.
Yeah, because the college game. Just because you look good in the college, don't mean you're gonna look good in the NFL. But Heisman players in general. Like, if you look at the history of Heisman players, you'll have some that be like, oh, yeah, they go off, and then like a Charles Woodson. But then other players are like, oh, damn, you was a Heisman winner? Like, god damn. So I don't trust those, and I don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks. That's why people tell me Justin Fields. I'm like, yo, Justin Fields got just as many starts so far. He's gonna have more by the end of the season. He had just as many starts as Dwayne Haskins. I don't know. I'm iffy on. Only one I'm kind of confident in is Trevor Lawrence. Trey Lance, I kind of like him, but he didn't play that much for me. I'm iffy. I don't know if I want to put that much of an investment. But my thing is, just come with facts when it comes to Haskins. Like, if I was the one being like a Haskins hater or anti-Haskins, all right, let me say, I would say, okay, one thing, biggest issue, his mechanics. He's a rhythm thrower. That's why in the up-tempo offense, he's able to have all those great completions. He's able to read the field. He plays off of a rhythm. Now, if you notice, sometimes when he does have time, he'll do this little like stutter step. If he's trying to get a pass off so quick, and that stutter step messes up his rhythm, so he's reacting to, oh snap, that person's open. So he does this little stutter step. Mm-hmm. He tends to overthrow. So I don't like that. Mechanical issues, that's something that you're gonna have to be working on you're gonna be doing in the off season, stuff that you be doing in practice. Like I need more dedication there.
Yeah.
Like that's a big issue with me because clean pocket or not, I mean, and I do blame the offensive line for a couple of things. Like some of those sacks, like they were like, oh, just throw the ball away. Yeah, these defensive linemen are not that slow. 2.5 seconds, this ball got to come out your hand. You think he's thinking, oh yeah, let me just throw it out, and you get caught in the blind by his blind side? Like, come on now. This offensive line is not that good. But there is some times where, because he's off rhythm and he needs to become more of a stationary quarterback, like, because he is what he is. He's not going to become a Lamar Jackson of Pat Mahomes. Never. He's going to be like you were saying, a big Ben or a slower Big Ben to be.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
he's gonna have to learn to get his feet already planted early and often instead of trying to like get in this little herky jerky rhythm because he's gonna continue to overthrow. So that is a big issue with me. That's not a quarterback I'm gonna draft in the first round. You got an issue like that, like who was that quarterback out of UCLA? Brent Hurley, I forgot his name. It's like Brent Hurley. The Packers had him at a point in time. That's a quarterback you draft he had a similar issue. Also, he had Caden. He played under UCLA where they just go set hut. Their cadence is completely different. You have issues like that. I'm drafting you third, fourth round. That's what I'm saying. I never wanted Haskins, but he's already here. So let's just see what he got. Since he already got him on the roster. You might as well see. Next year, maybe draft someone else. I think Yams was saying about bringing a vet quarterback to do that as well. I'm not paying big money for no vet and then paying them later on because these quarterbacks going for $40 million. Yeah, like.
But I'm right with you. I think Haskins should definitely get the year. I mean, we've been agreeing this whole time, but yeah, just to summarize, I think Haskins should get the year. And like you, I didn't even watch film on Haskins because I didn't even think we were going quarterback. You saw his film and you didn't like it. I didn't even watch it. I saw Daniel Jones' film because I was like, who is this guy? Why do y'all think he's good? I watched his film and I was like, he's not going to be good. What are y'all talking about? I didn't even really watch Haskins' film and then as soon as we drafted him, I was like, all right, let me watch this film. Let's make the most of this. So I'm right with you. I'm like, he's here. We might as well give him the year. And then after that, go quarterback if we choose to. If he doesn't look good, good. But until then, just let that man, work. There's no point in benching him. It doesn't help anybody to bench him at all.
Honestly, we're better off just playing Haskins, see what we got, and then if we go, like people saying, man, Haskins is trash, call him Traskins. If that's true, you should be happy. Because if he's trash, then you could get him out here at the end of the season. We'll have a great first round pick. And then you could get a better quarterback or a trade back. A lot of guys want to trade back for some reason because you think you'll get so many draft picks. But if there's not that many coveted quarterbacks, then that's not going to really happen. But, hey.
No, that's a really good point, though. It's weird that people are angry and calling him trash. But if you really think Dwayne Haskins is that bad, like you said, you should be happy that he's bad because then we can get a better quarterback later. And you want to deal with Dwayne Haskins next year. So yeah, I don't understand it either. I'm confused by the whole thing, like you said.
Week 2, talking about who can we get in the draft. I'm like, God, some of these players might not even opt into the draft. Like, can we wait at least until the trade deadline? Like. But I understand the frustration with Ron's plan with the whole the in-game
giving up
management stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm iffy about some of those things. I understand the logic behind it. Just because I understand it doesn't mean I agree with it. Like I get the reasoning behind it, but it's just you're trying to help your quarterback, but you still got 50-something other men on your team. It's like some of those players. And not all these players are going to be there, but some of the ones that are going to be there, it's like, okay, I understand you thinking about Haskins, but like a person like a Terry McLaurin, he's going to have to pay, and he's going to cost you. Like, that's another thing that people were saying. I think I was talking to, that was Yam. But that's the thing I'm telling you. Like, a couple of people that we named so far on the phone line, like somebody said Chase Brule. Well, Chase Brule gets paid next year. Not that he's that good, but I'm just saying, that increased salary, it starts to add up. It's just like when you go to a dollar store. It's like, oh, yeah, about 15 items. It ain't going to cost that much. But then you look, and like, oh, damn, it came up to like $30-something. What? But it starts paying all these players. Like, you got to pay Chase Rudick. You got to pay, what's his name? Sheriff. You got to pay, Terry, let me say Terry Rozier. You got to pay Terry McLaurin. Some of those other players, like Montez Sweat.
Yeah, the interior defensive lineman.
But at least, yeah, your defensive lineman, you don't got to pay most of it. And Ryan Kerrigan, of course, you're going to throw him a little something. But if somebody throw a bag at him, that's going to be very tempting for him not to leave. I know he wants to. He's already in the record book. So, but and my last comment was just on the Adrian Peterson thing. Like, trust me, I didn't want Adrian Peterson in the league. I did not. But I want to develop our own guys. Adrian Peterson is great, but we noticed in the past couple of years, Adrian Peterson's in the game. They just stack the box. Oh, Adrian Peterson, all right, they're going to run it. They're not going to do anything else but run it to Adrian Peterson. That's the only time he comes in the game. He don't play special teams. He don't do nothing else. And people are like, oh, no, but he's still going to get his yards. It's like, yeah, at the detriment of the rest of the team.
Yeah, and like Antonio Gibson, as great as he looks right now, he wouldn't look like this if Adrian Peterson was still here. He'd be getting as many carries as J.D. McKissick gets right now. And then J.D. McKissick would barely be getting any at all.
He'll be getting as many as Peyton Barber right now.
Basically.
J.D. McKissick, then Peyton Barber, and then Gibson would have got some carries. He would have got crumbs. So it's like, man, I love Adrian Peterson, one of my favorite players, but I'm tired of the nostalgia. I'm tired of the, oh yeah, we're gonna get good for 1 year. Like I think Kurt, that was 2015. We had that one. We had 1 year. We were like 9-7.
Talking about we went to the playoffs and got embarrassed by the Packers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want long-term stuff. I want to be a Steelers. I want to be a Ravens. I want to be a Patriots, where it's like, okay, we have a good core, good young core of players, or a good core of players, and then we're just slowly adding draft picks. We're adding free agents, where it's not, okay, we're just gonna draft this player this round and he's gonna insert into the starting lineup. Most teams, when you're doing that all across the board, they're not good. They're not good. Sometimes they are, but most of them are not. You're not taking your fourth round pick Like, if you got 10 holes on your team, you're not taking your 6th-round pick and sending them to that hole and be like, oh, it's fixed. Like, you're bound to fail. So, we got a long season. We already knew from the beginning. If you remember in January, Ron said this is going to be a rebuild. And in a rebuild, we're still at top of our division. Come on. Like,
Yeah.
as long as these players are progressing, that's what I'm happy about.
We think we got it bad, but the Cowboys and Eagles are in win now mode with the way their cap space is set up, and they look just as bad, if not worse. So it's just like, we have the brightest future, honestly, in the division, because the Giants are not in win now mode. They have cap space, but they just look terrible. My boy Andrew Thomas from Georgia looks pretty bad out there. So it's like their draft picks aren't even panning out. Another Georgia boy, DeAndre Baker, their first round corner, never playing in the NFL again. So it's just like we easily have the brightest future, and I don't see why people are panicking so much. I know we don't look that good this year, but even with as bad as we look, everybody else looks worse, and it's even worse for the Cowboys and Eagles because they're in win now mode. We're not in win now mode. We're technically in a rebuild, and we look just as good as those other two teams, if not better.
Man, I'll tell you that was going to be my last comment, but I'm going to add on to what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Their caps are so, they're so screwed, Cowboys and Eagles.
Depleted.
Imagine, for example, if the Cowboys can't pay Dak and someone else pays them, they're screwed.
No quarterback.
You a rookie in there. Or
Andy Dalton, a rookie.
You might get a vet, but then you got to throw a vet in there that has to learn their places, Mike McCarthy's system. And that's a lot in that. Or the Eagles, where it's like, okay, then now you're stuck because even if you try to go get a new player, you still have Wentz on your books, and so you can't really invest. It's going to be horrible to invest into another expensive quarterback.
And they wouldn't after they drafted Jalen Hurts so early.
Good players on your team. Yeah, exactly. You better hope Jalen Hurts turns to change to Mike Vick 2.0. Or you're screwed. Or and let's say either one of those teams. Let's say they get a young player, whatever, and that player flops. So now you're screwed for how many years? Because now you got to try to find a good quarterback, and then still continue to add on to your team while your players that are good on your team are going to be leaving. They're not going to stay on that trash team. You see what happened to the Dolphins?
Yep.
But all right, man. We'll be out. Appreciate it.
I appreciate that, Rodney. That boy with the facts pulling up. Yes, sir. All right. So now we have 210 number. You're up next, and then Derek Carter. You just called in. You'll be after him. All right. Let me bring on 210. What's good, 210?
Hey, what's going on? This is Survive the Day.
Oh, this Survive the Day. All right, bet. Let me save you. What's good?
And that's pretty good. I'm actually pretty excited for how this team's actually playing wise. I know we made a lot of mistakes, but I try to treat every game like a preseason game kind of deal, like that mindset. Because we're gonna take our lumps, you know what I mean, and we're gonna have to make a lot of mistakes. But overall, Ron's just gonna have more film to watch and make easy decisions, like letting go of Apke. Real quick, right now he must have saw something during training camp, I'm guessing, but. After this year, you know what I mean? He's gonna have without a doubt 100% just be yo, why is he even here? I got a whole year's worth, and I don't see one reason. I don't know what I saw before, but he's got big now.
Yeah, same with Haskins. Give him this year. After this entire year that he started, if he doesn't look good, move on. At least after giving him a year, you have a good amount of time to truly assess him and see what he's got. Yeah, and like you said, just like Troy Apke, give him the whole year. I really don't think he even needs the whole year. We've already seen enough from him. But at the end of the day, at least we can say we've given him enough time to prove himself and he didn't step up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of weird, though. I'm in a weird mood with Haskins. I feel like it's kind of a lose-lose because you watch him develop. You watch him have all these, pieces around him, with the bad O-line, for, some receivers not really stepping up too much. But at the same time, even when we start drafting and we start using free agency with our cap space, you're going to get those pieces. But now I feel like you already looked at Haskins and been hey, you might not be the guy after the year. I don't really know what the future is for him, but I hope he makes it to next year at least, because that's when we really start like finding pieces. We really start finding people to like put out there, make our offense a little more dynamic. That makes sense. You know?
Yeah, and then once Scott Turner gets some more games under his belt, he'll be a better, more consistent play caller. Because right now he's figuring it out as he goes along too. So yeah, I definitely feel like the future's bright.
That's good. That's good. Hey, is these all these screenplays? Is that just Scott trying to get him like adjusted wise, or is that really how it's gonna be moving forward for like
ever?
the rest of his
Forever. I don't know. I'm about to see a press conference because I honestly don't know, man. I really don't know what was going on with that, to be honest.
I mean, I was excited, but then I was like, all right, screen. I was like, all right, cool. I started to fall asleep a little bit too. I'm like, all right, screen. But then, hey, Gibson kind of stepped up, and I was like, all right, I'm a little excited. I could see what you've been preaching about Gibson.
Yeah, I love him. I really feel like we found a gem. I mean, even before I watched film on him, when I looked him up the first time, it was a whole bunch of people that weren't Burgundy and Gold fans, like guys that work at Bleacher Report, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, all of those guys were basically, they all said it in different ways, but they were like, if we just saw him more, if we had enough film on him, he probably would have been the best running back or skilled player, period, in the draft, but we just didn't get to see him enough to make that true assessment. But he popped whenever he did have the ball, he just didn't have it much type of thing. And they said he's fairly raw. So I was like, hey, man, we just keep giving him the ball, let him make plays, let him do what he does best. He can turn out to be a really good dynamic player for us. And right now, statistically, according to advanced statistics, he's the best running back in the league as far as like making people miss, breaking tackles and things like that, per carry wise.
Yeah. Oh man, well, shoot, I'm kind of weird about this whole season, but overall, like the excitement's there. It's kind of this weird up and down kind of deal. But I appreciate what you're doing, man. I'll keep it real short because most everyone else kind of hit the questions and topics that I wanted to touch up on. But no, man, overall, like, I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate the fact that at least we're going to have a year's worth of film to, like, make some real easy decisions. And we'll actually, for once, over the past 10 years, like, we'll know what we want rather than just going to, like, a yard sale and being like, hey, how much you want for that? And they're like, I don't know, it's too much. And he's like, well, I'll pay double. I need some plays, I need something. But it's going to be good. This year, I think everyone just has to kind of relax a little bit, watch the game as it goes, try to see what Ron's seeing, and like next year you can go hard. Next year you can say, you know what, I don't like this, I want to critique that, because you at least have like at least they went around and they say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go look for these players. If they don't work out, then you can go ahead and be angry about it. But this year, man, it's going to be a little bit of a headache, but hey, we're going to come out the other end though, next 3-4 years.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't have said it better, man. This year is literally a trial and error year, and like you said, as long as we give all of these guys plenty of chances to either show that they're bad, and Haskins, Troyapke, all of those guys, or show that they're good, as long at the end of the day, by the end of the season, we can, like you said, make easy decisions and know, all right, Dwayne Haskins is it, or Dwayne Haskins isn't it. Same with, like you said, Troyapke and all of those other guys also. That's why I like this season. We're not supposed to win the Super Bowl this season. We're supposed to get a full assessment of everybody across the board. I'm pretty sure at a certain point, we're going to start throwing Cameron Curl out there a lot. At a certain point, we're going to start throwing guys like Marcus Ball out there. Oh, hello? Oh, it started echoing. I thought that was you.
Nah. All right, I'm pretty good.
All right, man. Thank you for calling in, Savannah today. Appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. Keep it dang up, man.
All right. I'm sorry for the echo. I don't know what happened. I guess he was probably watching the stream while he was talking. I don't know. That was crazy though. That sounded funny on my end. I don't know what that sounded like to y'all. But all right, Derek, and then we have Joe and Erica coming after Derek, and then we have Felix coming 571 coming after that. All right, so it's good. 239. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on with you, man?
What's happening?
Hey, what's going on with you, man?
Chilling, man. How you feel about the game?
Let me start with the bad news, and then I'm gonna work my way up, right?
I bet.
So
Here's the deal. The reason why all the screenplays were run is because of the defense we was facing. Period. Turner knew that our offensive line wasn't going to be able to really block that Ravens defense to give Dwayne enough time to throw the ball. So as y'all discussed earlier, they wanted to get him into a rhythm, and then, maybe later they can open up the field and throw some deep passes, which they did, later on in the fourth quarter, right? But pretty much that defense dictated all those screen passes like that. Because as you can see, man, those guys was a turntable today, man.
Struggling, man. Struggling.
So, but here's the good news though, right? The run game has picked up tremendously, if you've noticed that. The run game has picked up tremendously as far as Antonio Gibson being able to get more yards. And I like that part. J.D. McKissick, he picked up his run stats a little bit better. But for whatever reason, once again, that passing scheme, man, we got to work on that passing scheme, man. I don't know if it's the way Scott Turner's offense works or what it is, but that passing scheme is not really where it needs to be. And you can't put that all on Dwayne, man.
Yeah, you definitely can't. You definitely cannot put that on Dwayne, bro. You can't.
I mean, people got to be realistic, man. Dwayne got a totally new playbook, no OTA, and no preseason.
Yep, exactly. If any team needed preseason really bad, it was us. If any team. Technically, these were the first 4 games, like somebody else said, so technically, this was the preseason. The next week is the real week 1.
But this is what we gotta look at though, homie. The defense is there. The defense is there, man. Kendall Fuller, I gotta give a shout out to him, man. He balled out today.
Yeah, he did his thing.
Man, kept us in the game.
Yep, 2 of them picks. 2 of them picks.
I gotta give a shout out to my man. What's his name from Virginia Tech? Is it Sterling? Big boy out of Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Wait, what position you talking about?
Defensive tackle.
Oh, Tim Settle. Tim Settle. Yes, sir. Tim Settle.
Settle? Yeah, Settle. Yeah, hey, Slim, he played a good game, man. I mean,
Yeah, he did his thing. I mean, especially that one play where he broke through. Then Lamar Jackson ran away from him, started to run in it. I think John Bostic, and then he tried to run back, and then Tim Settle was able to finish the play for the sack. Tim Settle is a great backup to have. Like one of the best in the league as far as backups go.
And then people, you got to listen to Ron what Ron said. Ron said that we are a year away to being in the shape that he really wanted to be in with his offense.
Yep.
And with his defense. He said we're a year away. So that should tell you everything right then and there. Right now, he's just letting people play, and he's just evaluating. And whoever's, good and solid, we'll keep that and continue to build with them. And, whoever's not, they're going to get the pink slip, and then we're going to add some new pieces that we need, continue to build.
Yep. Yeah, but I do like the fact that this year is a nice little analysis year to see what we have and what we don't have. That's why they didn't go crazy in free agency. Ron Rivera came to an entirely new roster and wanted to see what this roster had. He wanted to know if they're good or not. And then next year is when he finally makes real evaluations of his roster. Overall, he pretty much just kept the roster generally the same, like as far as the guys that were already here. Some guys left because they could get more money elsewhere, but generally he kind of just stuck with the guys that were already here and was basically like, we're going to give you a year to prove yourself. Since we don't have an off season or like a real training camp, no preseason, we're not just going to release y'all off of nothing. So we're going to give y'all the entire year, except for Sean Davis. I don't know what happened with that. But everybody else, they were like, hey, man, stick around. See, show us what you got. If you don't have it, then yeah, you're gone next year. And that's including Haskins.
Well, leave it or not, what's crazy, man, is it could turn out that a team with a 79 record from the NFC East can make the playoffs.
For real. We about to...
The way things looking right now.
Whoever ends up winning this division might be the worst team in the playoffs, unless something just happens where somebody catches fire like us or the Cowboys. But I think the Eagles and Giants are done.
The Cowboys, their offense has got to stay healthy. Because their offense has power enough. I've been watching them too, where they can score enough points, man, to keep themselves in the game, regardless if their defense is sucking or not. So, right now, Dallas, in my mind, is we need to at least split with Dallas to give ourselves a shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you have to win a division, you at least have to win at least one game from each division opponent, I believe. At least. And we already have one on the Eagles, so that's a good start. We got 5 more to go, though.
I mean, and I'm into this with this, man. Like, these first 4 games, just consider them as preseason.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Consider them as preseason, and then now, these next couple of weeks going forward against, I think we got the Rams, and then I think we got the Giants, and then the Cowboys. That's when we really going to see what we working with. Because now, look, you had enough reps to be out there, to get in rhythm, and now it's time to put up a shut up, man.
Yep. I agree. I definitely feel like these first 4 games were technically our preseason, even though we deserved more of an offseason, because whenever you get a new head coach, you're supposed to start OTAs and mini camps a month before everybody else. So it will never be even, but at least we got these 4 games out the way. We got the jitters out the way. We experimented with Dwayne Haskins and all of that. We finally let him gunsling. And now, Rams, Giants, Cowboys, it's time to go out there and perform. No excuses.
So, Street Scores Nation, Redskins, football team nation, keep your head up, man. That's all I got.
Man, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, Derek. Wait, what's your YouTube name?
Thomas Carter.
You said who, Carter?
Thomas Carter.
Thomas Carter? All right, bet. Bet.
Thomas Carter.
All right, bet I got you saved in. All right, bet. And I appreciate the call, and I'll definitely call in next week, man. Appreciate it.
All right, that's what's up.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too.
All right, Joe and Erica, what's good, man? You're up next, and then after you is Felix. But what's good, Joe and Erica?
How you doing, man? What's going on?
What's good, man? I saw you were waiting for a while, and you kept, leaving and coming back, and I couldn't wait to get to you. It was so many people ahead of you, though, so I'm glad that we finally got to you.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of honeydews, man, today. So,
all right.
But anyway, a little bit of improvement, man. But like you said, the defense definitely let us down this game.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know what the scheme was or what we had to do. But once again, man, Dwayne Haskins, he got cement shoes. I don't know what it is. But he just does, man. It's just the awareness. Like I said last week, man, we needed a preseason to get his legs up underneath of him. But in this draft, I definitely think, because I'm already looking forward, because it's going to take us some time to kind of catch up and get used to our squad, to get used to each other, so we can start playing together as a unit.
Yep.
why I think preseason is really so critical. And one of the things that I see for a team to win the Super Bowl and have continuity is that the coach will pick his own quarterback. And right now, Ron Rivera doesn't really have his own quarterback. So I'm in this draft, if we don't have, because Trey Lance, I don't really know if he's going to be, he'll need to maybe sit a season behind a veteran.
Wouldn't be surprised.
To see that, because even though North Dakota State, even though he hasn't lost a game, he's still at North Dakota State, and the competition is like the Big 12 or, the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the first pick, man, if we don't get like top 5, like I said, I want the big old tackle out of Oregon.
Penasawell. Yep.
Yeah, I want him. If Trevor Lawrence, I mean, I'm kind of intrigued by Haskins' play today, so maybe we can give him another season. But everybody is right, man. The offensive line is a shambles. I just, it's more of a 50-50 type of split, man. Because Judon just came, that was more of a scheme sack though. Because Dwayne really should have saw it and kind of audibled the protection different, or moved the running back to that side. So because Judon just came unblocked and there was nobody there to block him, so the right tackle was basically taking his assignment. So that's just experience, I guess. But to solidify that line, man, we got to get, because we're missing Trent. We're missing that backbone to the old lineman, man. We don't really have a specific, because everybody had a bad game. It was hot and cold. But our daggone safeties, Lord have, man, Troy Apke's still, bro. I don't. They just, if we're taking our lumps like Ron Rivera seems to be doing, and he seems to be kind of, gauging his talent. I mean, kind of put Carl in there, man. See what he can do as far as coverage is concerned. Because Apke seems more, I mean, you can't really say he's a strong either, because he can't really tackle.
No, he's lost. It's free safety or go home for him, or he's just gonna be a permanent special teams player. That's it for him. He definitely can't play in the box. He plays too scary.
Yeah, he can't play in the box, but he also can't cover anybody. So I mean, I don't know where he would actually fit. He must be doing good in practice or something. But like I said, man, Brevin Jordan out of Miami. If we don't get top 5, I don't know about the quarterback at Ohio State. He seems okay. He may be a little bit bigger than Haskins, I think. But the quarterback out of Clemson, the dude is just, he's ridiculous.
Oh, he's different.
Pocket awareness, arm strength, touch, eyes always downfield, moving around in the pocket. He'll talk the ball and run. He's faster than what he looks. So him, and then like a Javon Holland out of Oregon, he's a monster of a safety. Then Florida State has a safety, Muhammad. He's real good.
I'm writing all of these down too.
LSU has a safety. I forgot what his name is. But we may also need linebacker, bruh, because the brother that the tight end smoked today in the corner for the touchdown.
Yeah.
That linebacker knocked up number 54. He's just, oh man, our linebackers may need to be kind of switched around too, or coached up. Like I said, man, we just need a couple of games to get our legs underneath of us, because we really needed a preseason, bruh. Really needed a preseason to see what we had, who can start, who can't start. Because right now, man, all Rivera's doing is gauging talent.
Yeah, he just throwing people out there and seeing what they got, for real.
Right. Right. Because, man, that old line, man, I don't know. They're just not communicating. And then Martin, who's our center? That's who I want.
Chase Roulier.
Oh man, yeah, he's wow. Because the defensive tackles they were really getting penetration. It wasn't more so from the outside. Somebody called earlier. They were right. The defensive tackles on the inside were doing stunts and getting penetration up the middle. And then Haskins just didn't know how to handle it. He did. I mean, when the bullets are flying, he just basically. I mean, and there were a couple of passes when he had protection, and he floated the ball too high or too low. Like that pass, he threw one pass down the middle, and there were two receivers there. One was in front of the other, and basically both receivers had a chance at it. And it was just really a bad throw, and he had protection. So, I mean, we could sit here all day and say, you know what I'm saying, he's good and getting better. But, man, we just don't have our legs underneath of us. We just don't have no clock, man. That's all it really is. They're basically going to have to make that boy stay in the facility for at least 10 hours a day, or at least a couple of hours after practice.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have just like Jackson did. After his first season when he took over for Flacco, he hired that quarterback coach. He went down to Florida, and he locked in. No, he did not go down to Florida that year. He stayed up here. And he just locked in with the quarterback coach. He said all he did was go to the facility and go home. Go to the facility and go home. That's all he did. And he got better, man.
Yep.
He got much better. But, like I said, man, that big old lineman first, if we don't get him, trade back and get a star receiver to go along with McLaurin and get an offensive lineman in the second round. So basically, my order is offensive line, secondary, and possibly quarterback. Derek King is a monster, though. That's the last
and he might last till he might last third round later or something, maybe fourth. You never know.
Yeah, because the only thing is, man, he is short. He's like 5'7" and a half, 5'8". Isn't he? I don't know how big he is, but he's short. Dude is real short, but he plays like a monster.
It says he's 5'11", but he does look little out there at times. It's weird.
Oh, nah. There ain't no way in the world that boy.
Yeah, nah, I'm with you. I thought he was smaller than that, too. That's pretty funny.
Nah, he's like a good. Nah, he's not 5'11". I know that for a fact. So, but anyway, man, hail to the team, man. We get our legs up underneath of us and see what we can do later on in the season. Dallas is terrible. We gotta beat them. We have to beat them, dog. We can't get this up. So, but anyway, hail to the team, man. I'll talk to y'all next week.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling in. Much appreciated. Thank you for calling back, too, when it took forever, man. I appreciate the patience, and I'll definitely catch you next week.
All right, bro.
All right, man.
No.
All right, that looks like it's it, man. I mean, normally I try to go from 5 to 7, but it looks like we ended up going almost all the way to 8, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I appreciate everybody that was in the chat. I super appreciate everybody that called in. Whether I agree or disagree, I just appreciate everybody calling in and making their points and, you know, making sure they provide reasons for why they feel how they feel and all of that. So I love my Burgundy and Gold Nation out there, man. Again, the central theme is just give Haskins more time. Because what do we lose with giving Haskins more time? A good draft pick to take a better quarterback? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, we just going to have to ride this till the wheels fall off. I mean, I've been telling y'all since the offseason. If y'all listen to me, I've been told y'all not to get y'all expectations up too high. This is a really talented roster. The coaching staff is better, but we got to wait for everything to mesh. And the roster, they didn't even go to fill team needs. We went and got Dontrell Inman was our big-time wide receiver signing in the offseason. And we didn't address wide receiver in the draft till 5th round. So we didn't even really try to address our needs. They just brought in a lot of talent. They wanted to see what they had to offer. So by the end of the season, we can have a full year's worth of tape on everybody and be like, hey, you weren't it, move on. Or you were good, we're going to keep you and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, don't have your expectations too high this season. That's basically it. This was just a, trial and error season. I'm expecting us 2021 and beyond better. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all that have those high expectations this year, I'll be right with y'all next year. Maybe not all the way, but definitely 2022 and beyond. I'm going to be right with y'all on the people that's mad that we're losing right now. But this year, I already knew it was going to happen. I already knew it was coming. And to me, overall, we look a little bit better than I expected. And the fact that we still had a chance to win the division is also crazy because everybody else looks worse than I expected. So we'll see. Good talk, Rico, man. Appreciate that, King Sean. Goose was good, everybody, man. So I know you speak fat, man. Rico, I watch every single one of your vid, man. Appreciate that, man. Rico, I'm going to call it next week. All right, Goose, man. Rico, how much longer is Brandon out? I think like maybe like 2-3 weeks or something. Oh, Anthony already answered it. 2-4 weeks, yeah. He's on like the temporary IR. The new one that they introduced because of COVID. The one where you're not out the entire year. You can be gone like 2 to 5 weeks or something like that. So yeah, around there, he'll be back. Hopefully he's back by the time we play the Cowboys. I think Joe and Eric. Joe said that I think we play the Rams, then the Giants, then the Cowboys. I can't confirm it because my memory's terrible. I look at our schedule every week and forget who we play after the game we currently going, like the next opponent. So I always forget. We still leading the division, yes sir. As long as the Eagles win, we are still first in the division. What's good, Lorenzo? I said, hey yo, what's good? I'm about to dip out though, man, but appreciate you pulling up at the last second. Did y'all see Jason Peters out for year? Oh, I didn't even know that. That's crazy. Oh yeah, the 49ers about to eat. Even without Solomon Thomas and Nick Bosa, out for year is crazy. Yeah, I feel sorry for the Eagles. I'm expecting them to lose this game, even without Jimmy Garoppolo. Even though I don't even think Jimmy Garoppolo's that good. I think the 49ers need to go ahead and cut ties with him, go get a good quarterback this next draft, and then be ready to take over the NFC West again. Jimmy Garoppolo is not it. I accepted a good old-fashioned A-whooping, but they play hard. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, we all got to eat that L with you, man. We right with you. Rams, the Giants, the Cowboys. All right, bet. So Joe's right. Appreciate that. We winning it. We winning to Eagles again. Oh, yeah, I'm expecting us to beat the Eagles again. I think we should go 4-2 in the division, honestly. DK leads the league in passing yards. Yeah, Rams, Giants, Cowboys, then bye week, then Giants. Oh, okay, cool. Appreciate that. I'm going to forget that by next week. But I appreciate you telling me that. You know what I'm saying? But all right, man, I really appreciate y'all, man. As always, y'all already know, man, I have my shows throughout the week. I'm going to find something to do a film session on, so make sure y'all look out for that. I don't think a lot of people knew that I did that Terry McLaurin film session, so make sure y'all go check that out. And as always, I'm a live stream during every game. And we're going to take an hour break and do a post-game live stream like this one an hour after the game every week. So make sure y'all always pull up for that. Make sure y'all call in. Make sure y'all participate, get in the chat and all of that. And, yeah, man, I really appreciate y'all, man. Breaking in Gold Nation, I love y'all. Catch y'all next week. I'm out, man.